Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the final stream. The egg is out. We are streaming early. And today we have Game Week 38. We mean business. I've got a tie clip on. I've got my suit jacket on. This is the game week. Like, no decisions left to make after this. The summer off. And the egg is shining. The egg's actually not that shiny, all things considered. I've just moisturized it as well. Maybe I need a bit of polish. Look at this. I mean business today, chat. I mean, on my bottom half, now, there aren't suit trousers on my bottom half. That's all I will say. That's all I'll say. Listen, we have to... We can't turn up in a Gymshark t-shirt for Game Week 38. I mean, as much as I'd want to. Harry put a sick face and then an egg. Harry, you say my head makes you... Everyone cancel Harry. Everyone cancel Harry. He said my egg makes him feel sick. Stand up. There's a kneecap. There was actually a guy in my stream. I was speaking about this on Harry's Stag Do. There was a guy in my stream. Let me know if you're here right now. That every stream used to ask to see my kneecaps. There you go. You just caught a glimpse of the kneecaps. My tie's wonky. Oh, chat. We can't have a wonky tie. Anyway, Batman vibes. You look great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, am I sweating? Yes. Yes, I am. Morning. I still have my free hit. Can you help, please? I can. I would have Saka, Salah, Bowen, and Burmo. That's my midfield four. Done. Front three, Even Ilson, Welbeck, Isak or Watkins, done. Back line, White, Raya, Kirkes, Fabian Schär. Just built your free hit draft. There we go. We're on it today. That would be nice, by the way. That tie looks flammable. It might be.
Lovely tie.
Thank you. No pocket square. This is probably the tie that I'll wear to your wedding, Harry, if you want a little sneak peek. There you go. This is probably what I'll wear. I'll probably won't.
It's Harry.
Yeah, it's Harry, yeah.
Hi, Harry.
It's Harry. Oh, it's Harry. FPL people said. Right, my team. Now, I am having a minor panic attack this morning. By minor, I mean major. I don't know what I'm doing. And I would say every game week, I have no idea what I'm doing. But this game week in particular, I have really no idea what I'm doing. So, and I think it's a good position to be in, right? Because the reason I don't know what I'm doing is I actually quite like... Chat, I'm trying to focus. Can I buy a Peugeot off you? I know, I look like a card. Right. No, don't laugh. Don't encourage. That's wonky as well. Yeah, I've been stressed. So, anyway, the reason that I'm struggling is I actually quite like my team, which is a good position to be in, right? Like, a lot of people have, like, a very obvious, well, I'm going to sell this player to that player. But if Isak's fit, which we don't yet know, I don't think there is a standout, obvious transfer here. So let me talk you through the three options. Actually, there's four options. Option one is Isak to Even Ilson. Obviously, we get a leak that Isak's out and we trust that leak, then I'll go with that. And this is an option anyway, to just do Isak to Even Ilson. Option two and option three is to sell Sarr to a better midfielder. I actually quite like Minte, or Minter. I still don't know how to pronounce his name in all honesty, but I looked at the thread from FPL Instinctive, who's a massive Brighton fan, and he said that Minte is the most likely midfielder to start. He doesn't think Matoma starts, and he said Gruder probably doesn't have perfect minutes. Or I could go to a Kluivert or Semenyo. And the reason I say option 2 and 3 is one option is I sell Sarr, but I keep that player on the bench and still start Rodgers. So I'm essentially upgrading my first bench in case Isak misses out. The other option is that I sell Sarr and then bench Rodgers. I just don't feel fully comfortable benching Morgan Rodgers. Something about that on the final day doesn't feel right. And so the final option, and what I think is probably the best option, but it's also a bit boring, is to sell Saliba to Ben White or Fabian Schär. They're the two options I choose between. And then I'd probably bench Ezri Konsa. Now, if we get a leak that Trent starts, and there are lots of permutations here, then I would just bench Bradley, of course. That would actually be perfect. If we get a leak in the next 2.5 hours that Trent starts, I'd quite like that, because then I would just do Saliba to White or Schär and bench Bradley. So, yeah, basically one of my three options for transfers, Isak to Even Ilson, Sarr to a midfielder, but they literally all stink. Like, give me a good midfielder under 7 million. There aren't any. And then, obviously, Saliba to one of those defenders. Schär, copycat. Right, let me just ban Harry from the stream. Right, Harry's banned. Ross, best of luck for the final game week. Thoughts on taking a -4 for O'Brien to Fabian Schär and Wood to Even Ilson? I mean, if you're having to play O'Brien, then yeah, I would absolutely do that. But I'm sure you probably have someone like Munoz on the bench instead. So is Munoz 4 points worse than Fabian Schär this week? Maybe. In that situation, I think I just look at it and think Wood to even Nilsson's fine. I also like Wood to even Nilsson. Is that worth the -4? Like, whichever way you flip that, I would probably just do one of those for free. I don't think I'd do both of them, Adios. Harvey Barnes. Yeah, but I've seen some Newcastle fans suggesting that Newcastle might switch to a 4 at the back. And if Newcastle switch to the 4 at the back, that means 2 of Murphy, Gordon, Barnes start. I think Jacob Murphy has been unbelievable on the right wing. So you telling me that you think Anthony Gordon's benched? I'm not so sure, which means Harvey Barnes is benched. If they play a 5 at the back, then of course all 3 of them start, but we just don't know that. Andreas Beaning says Saliba to White and bench Livramento. Saliba to White and bench Livramento. What? No. God, no. Oh, God, no. In no world. I think Livramento is fantastic. Livramento is probably top 3, top 5 defenders for this week. Absolutely not. Isak to Nilsson's fine. I will just note, Harry tweeted it this morning, 750,000 transfers out for Alexander Isak. If you look at bookies odds, he's the second most likely to score a goal this week. I'm kind of the opinion if Isak starts, he's a really nice differential now. I don't love either of those right now without a leak, but I think Isak to Nilsson would be the most likely for me, Andreas. Shazam says, oh, by the way, dear Lord, Shazam, you've been far too generous this season, my man. What an absolute legend. It's been a pleasure getting to know you as well, off of the streams as well. Thanks for your dedication this season. You've been fantastic to watch and a wealth of knowledge. Your insights and guidance make you a top FPL streamer. Pickle, appreciate you for being behind the scenes and sharing Ross with us.
Aww.
Lovely from Shazam. I appreciate you so much, mate. And well done for a good season yourself as well. And hopefully we have another good season next year. FPL Pickle might be coming on the stream today, by the way, everyone. I'm not going to say definitely will.
I might later.
But later on, maybe after the deadline, FPL Pickle might come onto the stream to say hello.
I'm doing a bit of work and I'm also doing my makeup at the same time.
Yep.
Don't ask, but yeah, maybe later.
I'll tell you what, you'll realise this if you ever do it a lot more on camera. And Harry will probably know this. I know this sounds obvious, right? But the camera is mirrored. So every time I'm trying to like straighten my tie, I'm making it wonkier. And when I think there's something on my face, I'm like...
That's the one thing I found really confusing.
Yeah, it's the opposite way to what you think. So whenever I point at my screen, I'm always like, I point like the wrong way. Anyway, Dan M, thanks for everything this season. You're welcome, Dan. Thank you for being here as always. Chasing 10 points. 10 points is doable. Vardy to Nilsson. I like that. And either Isak to Welbeck or Palmer/Rogers to Matoma. So Matoma apparently is carrying a small knock. And again, FPL Instinctive on Twitter, go check his thread out. He doesn't think Matoma starts. And even if he does, the minutes won't be great. So I don't think I'd go Matoma now. I think I'd go Gruder or Minte if you want to go for a Brighton midfielder. But I think Isak to Welbeck is probably the better transfer overall. I think Palmer and Rogers are both fine this week. Also tempted by Havertz/Trossard. I assume you don't have Saka, because if you don't have Saka, sorry, you have Saka, because if you don't, Palmer to Saka would be extremely tempting. Like, if you look at that press conference from Arteta, I think Saka starts. Lots of options, though, there. Why are you in a suit? We in business. GW38. Why wouldn't you be in a suit? It's a real question. Any streamer that doesn't turn up in a suit today doesn't mean they're checking. I don't want to say that because I think that's going to be pretty much everyone. Where was I? Hashtag have Isak and Palmer, 1 free transfer, Saka and Burmo or even Nilsson. I'm confused. Is that captain? Or are you saying which one of those do you buy? Probably which one of you buy... Palmer to Saka, probably. I mean, if you don't have Mbeumo at this stage, unless you're protecting, there's no point. Mbeumo's ownership's going to be so high. Jordan Bolton says, firstly, thank you for all of the content. You're more than welcome, Jordan. I will enjoy the break, thank you. I hope you do as well. Though my break is basically doing PhD work and moving. So I'm going to be very busy this summer. On the bench boost, it'll be exciting at least. If I've got news multiple players are benched, would you take a hit to get them out? Only if the player that you're bringing in you think has really good upside. So, for example, I probably, like... what's a good example? Like, if you got news that... I'm trying to think of what a good example would be. If you got news that Trossard was out, Trossard to Semenyo, you might go... or is on the bench. Trossard to Semenyo, you're like, yeah, do you know what? Semenyo's got Lister at home. Maybe that's a... But if it's like you're transferring out just because they're on the bench and the player that you're bringing in you don't believe in that much, I probably wouldn't. So I don't think you want to end up in a position where you're taking like 5 or 6 hits, basically. But yeah, I would lean towards saying, yes, take the hit if you believe in the player that you're bringing in. So maybe make a short list of players that you think, I have a good feeling that they'll do well. Make that short list and then take a hit for the players that are on that short list is what my advice would be. But yeah, I wouldn't be against taking hits, Jordan. Jacob says 7 points behind. Chase with captain. Players both. 7 points. Probably not captaincy. I don't think you need to chase. I'm 6 points, by the way, that I'm chasing. And I've got my armband on Salah at the moment because I think he's the best captain. I think 7 points, you almost don't even need to chase that much. Like, I'll point to last week. I got a 15-point green arrow last week, and I'm not saying that to brag, although I kind of am. No, joking. I'm not saying that to brag, but I'm saying that in the sense of, like, if you look at my team last week, it wasn't that different to everyone else, but I got 15 points above the average. So I feel like within 10 points, you can almost just hope that you have a lucky week. Like, I just got incredibly lucky last week. If you get lucky, you can easily make up 7. So I wouldn't do anything too different. If you want to, though, it's probably your, like, transfer. Like, one differential player will be enough. Red Sox Kid says, down 1 point in my mini league. He has triple captain left. I have nothing. Okay. Thinking Saliba for White for a transfer. Should I do Cunha for Even Ilson or Sarr for Luis Diaz for a -4? I think I prefer Sarr to Luis Diaz, actually. All I will say is when it comes to mini leagues, if you're going to super chat or ask me a question today to do with mini leagues, I can't help you unless I can see your mini league rival's team. Because if your mini league rival has Luis Diaz but doesn't have Even Ilson, then I would rather Even Ilson. Does that make sense? So you've got to try and differentiate wherever you can, basically. Oh, what's Harry sent here? Oh, okay. A Newcastle account that can be reliable has tweeted that Isak starts. But he's also a massive Newcastle fan. The issue I have with Newcastle in the nose today is that they could lie to try and get in it, like, because they know that the news will be spread around. I'm really hesitant. I think I'm going to end up just keeping Isak in the hope that he starts, is my current feeling, but we'll see. Football, playing bench boost. Murphy to Saka for a -4. No. Nah. I think Saka's fantastic this week, but I also quite like Jacob Murphy. If it was for free, Murphy to Saka's not awful, but for a hit, I'm just not convinced. Marcus says, hi, Ross. Thanks for your advice. You're more than welcome, Marcus. Thanks for being here as always. Not enough money for Eze to Bowen. Should I go for another defender or even Ilson for Isak? Thinking White Kirkes if not. It comes down to your expectation of if Isak starts. I think Isak's a great option if he does, and so I'm tempted to risk it. But if you don't want to risk it, like, arguably even Ilson is a better option than Isak this week in a straight shootout. So it's not a terrible risk to take, but I might just go for it and just hope that Isak starts. Agent 47, your assignment is to run, not... As soon as I get their head out. Pick one defender and one forward. 8 Nuri / Konsa and Marmoush / Sarr. I would start... Ooh, 8 Nuri and Marmoush. I think I would start 8 Nuri and Marmoush. Thanks for a great season of content, Ross Legend. Thank you, Julius. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think 8 Nuri and Marmoush have the highest ceiling out of those pairings. Looking sharp, Mr. Egg. Thank you very much. Play Pep or swap the manager. If you've got Pep, I'd play Pep. Like, this is a big game for Man City. I think Man City win this. So I'll probably play Pep. Still feel sick because of United, despite being 4.2k. Honestly, mate, I took a good 48 hours to recover from that. I didn't even call Pickle that evening. I think we were probably going to call. I just couldn't. I absolutely lost my head. Like, I took a long shower. I turned off my phone, got off of Twitter. That was the worst game of football. Do you know what? I can't even think about him. But well done for the 4.2k finish. Would you rather Salah and Isak or Haaland and Saka? Oh, wow. Haaland and Saka or Salah. If Isak starts, I'd prefer Salah and Isak. With the slight doubts there, maybe it is Haaland and Saka, but I think Salah and Isak's a better pairing for me. I have one free transfer. Should I use one on KDB for Saka or take a -4 for Isak for Welbeck and Rodgers for Saka? Take a hit to sell Isak and Rodgers. That doesn't feel great to me. I think KDB to Saka for free, Axel. Yeah, I wouldn't take the hit in that case. I think KDB's great this week, but Saka's better. So if you've got a route to go KDB to Saka for free, I like it. I have Milenkovic and Sessegnon on the bench. Don't fancy a clean sheet for either. That's why I wanted Fabian Schär, and even Ilson outscores Wood, in my opinion, protecting a 9-point lead. Okay, with that context, Adios, I'm absolutely fine with it. Like, when you explain the context, like, I also just think, like, in Game Week 38, you're going to have the whole summer to think about what happened in Game Week 38, right? You're going to be ruminating on it. You don't want to not trust what you think is the right decision. So I think if you've got a slight inkling that there's a decision that will better your team, follow through with it and feel confident and make it. Because the worst case scenario, all you do is then go, actually, I was wrong. It wasn't a good decision, but hey ho, at least I trusted myself. Nathaniel says, 1 free transfer, 5.3 million in the bank, 1 point off the top 10k. I have Rodgers. Okay, got me team. Do Vardy to Ivan Nilsson, or Isak, or Sarr to Saka? Oh, Sarr to Saka or Vardy to Ivan Nilsson. I think given that Vardy's not going to be in the squad, I think Vardy to Ivan Nilsson and have Sarr on the bench makes more sense. If you can afford to do both for a -4 hit, that would be very tempting. But I think if you're going to choose one, just in the terms of having a bit of bench cover, I would probably do Vardy to Ivan Nilsson, Nathaniel. Just about. But I think that's very close. Dr. Greek FPL says, chasing 23 points, -4 to differentiate from a mini league leader. Well, a -4 makes it 27 points, and that's a very big gap to make up. Isak to Welbeck and Sarr to Diaz and captain him. It's the sort of moves which could gain you. I'll just be honest straight up. If you're chasing 27 points, you need your mini league rival to have a stinker, and you need to have a generational game week. So it's probably not going to happen, but they're the sort of moves that you might have to make. So yeah, Isak to Welbeck and Sarr to Diaz for captain. I don't hate it. Tio says, Ross, thanks for another great season of content. You're more than welcome, Tio. Not going to lie, I'll say pooed. I pooed the bed, being too drunk and forgot the deadline at times. But as you always say, FPL is about fun, and you've helped me having loads of it. See you next season. Big love, mate. Listen, unless you're playing it seriously because you're creating content, or like it really means a lot to you, FPL is about fun. If you miss a deadline, you miss a deadline. If you have a bad game week, you have a bad game week. I know I say that as someone that stresses about it, but at the end of the day, I have a YouTube channel. It's my job. So I think have fun with it. If you miss a couple of deadlines, so be it, you know? Again, I don't feel that way, but I have to take it quite seriously. By the way, if you're enjoying the stream, already 4,000 people here. Could you please drop a like on the stream? Hit that like. It spreads the stream out to other people. More people will join, more questions. It's always fun. And also make sure to subscribe as well. Plenty more content next season. Trina says, hi, Raptor. Got Pope, Byrne, Kirkes, Gvardiol, Mbermo Salah, Rogers, Bowen, KDB, Wisser, Wood. It's a lovely team. Strong bench as well. 1 free transfer, triple captain, and not afraid to take a hit. Okay. Should I do Rogers to Diaz and Wood to Ivan Nilsson? Who do I triple captain? Should I do Rogers to Diaz and Wood to Ivan Nilsson? So that's for a -4 hit. I'd be tempted to just do one of those moves, unless you need the Wood to Ivan Nilsson move to fund the Rogers to Diaz. Like, if I was to choose one of those I think Rogers to Diaz is quite high upside. If you're not afraid to take a hit, then do it. Triple captain. What you need to think with triple captain is, who do you think is the best captain in the triple captain? And I know that sounds like a really patronising answer, but some people view triple captain as being different to captaincy. It's not. You just get an extra version of your captain. I would go Salah. I think Salah's the best triple captain because I think Salah's the best captain. If you want a high upside differential, it's Saka, Bowen, or Ivan Nilsson. I'd probably go Salah personally. Because listen, as much as Salah's going to be highly captain, Trina, not many people are going to have the triple captain left. Right, where was I? Thank you, by the way, for the super chat, Trina. I appreciate it. MN Chuckstar, thank you as always for the support, my man. You've been far too kind this season. Have to celebrate my dad's birthday, so I know you're not saying it in this way, but it's like, I have to celebrate my dad's birthday. So I won't be able to watch the stream. Just wanted to take a moment and thank you for all the content you put out this season, and looking forward to the next one. You and Pickle have a great final game week. Thank you so much, my friend. It's honestly, I love every stream, but Game Week 38 always feels so wholesome. But thank you for the support, mate. I think you've literally been in every stream, and even the streams that you've not been in, you've still popped in to say hello. So thank you, my friend. Josh says, hi, you're up to 6th. In the world, Josh. Were you 11th last week? Up to 6th in the world. Let me have a look. I want to make sure you're the same Josh. I think you are. You're the Josh that was 11th, right? Yeah, you're 6th, Josh. 69 points you got. I love that. Going without Watkins paid off. I think I suggested that you do that. If I didn't, I'm sorry. But I think I did say go without Watkins and hope. Yeah, because the Villa defence did quite well as well, didn't they? But wonky tie. 6th in the world. Fair play, Josh. I don't think you can win it because I think you're like, isn't first by like 35 or 40 points. I hope you manage to get top 5 though, or at least secure a 1-digit rank. Imagine that, chat. A 1-digit rank. Fair play. Play Murphy or KDB. I'd go KDB. And thank you for the support. I appreciate that. Would you consider taking out Wisser for Ivan Nilsson? No. I think Wisser's great. He's on 19 non-penalty goals in the Premier League. The most in the Premier League this season. He'll want to get to 20. And Wisser's just great. As much as I don't think Wolves are a bad defence and Brentford are better at home, I still really, really like Wisser. Same team as you, got Diaz instead of Bradley, tips. Wait for a leak, mate. See what happens with Isak. Other than that, I think you've got the option of selling Sarr and benching Rodgers, Isak to Ivan Nilsson, or sell Saliba and bench Konsa. I still don't think Konsa's like perfect for this week. Good clean sheet chance, but other than last week when he got 15 points, it doesn't have the highest ceiling usually. If no news, Isak to Evan-Nilsson and Savinho to Saka Bowen for free, or keep Isak and go Sav to Bowen and Konate to Livramento. I much prefer the... I probably... Ooh, that's tough. I think I prefer Isak to Evan-Nilsson and Savinho to Saka. If you're 11 points is a reasonable amount, I think you need to go slightly different. I would probably do Isak to Evan-Nilsson, Savinho to Saka, and Captain Saka. Greg, that would be along the lines of what I would do. I think both are fine, but I would go that one slightly more. Master Xupi. Sorry if I butchered that. Okay, you've given me your team. Did Isak to Watkins last night. Okay, hopefully for you, then Isak doesn't start. Overall rank 15k. Who to bench and cap? Is it worth a -4 if someone is benched? I mean, you've got a really good, like, you're probably going to bench here Eze or Rodgers, right? So in that case, you've got a very good first sub. I probably wouldn't take a -4 if someone was benched. I'd probably just bench them. And if you've got 2 players that are benched, then yes. If you've got 1 player that's benched, just bench them and then start Eze or Rodgers instead. If that was my team, I would bench Rodgers, personally. Unless we get a leak that Marmoush is on the bench, of course. But I would probably bench Rodgers. But yes, a really nice team. In terms of your defense, you bench Henderson, probably. Milenkovic and Timber? Who's Brian? Who's a defender called Brian? Is that O'Brien? You spelt Brian weirdly, though. Is there a defender that starts with the name Brian? I don't know. There's too many typos. But I would probably bench Brian, Timber, Henderson, and Rodgers, probably. Master Zupi. Thank you for the support. Rian says, hi, Ross. Would you do Palmer and Cunha to Saka and Evan-Nilsson -4? Palmer and Cunha out for a hit. But Saka and Evan-Nilsson are so much better. Although I like Cunha. I would be tempted to do Palmer to Saka for free and leave it there. If you need to do the Cunha to Evan-Nilsson move to fund it for a hit, I don't hate it. I would only make those moves if you're going to captain Saka. If you're not captaining Saka, I don't think that's worth it. Scuba Steve says, thank you for all the content this season. You're welcome, Scuba Steve. It's much appreciated. Looking forward to having more of the same next season. Have a great Sunday. Thank you, my friend. And thank you again. I've seen you on so many streams this year. I'm seeing so many names just pop up that have been here every week. So thank you, Scuba Steve. I appreciate it. Fan says, hi, Ross. 2 free transfers, 0.9 million in the bank. 3 points off the top 50k. Okay, I hope you can do it. Chasing the best transfer. Current team. Okay, I'm looking at your team now. Okay, Marmoush to Evan-Nilsson stands out as a possibility. KDB to Saka or Bowen stands out as a possibility. I think it's those two. I mean, you could do something like Munoz to... You could do Munoz to Livramento, share White, something. Oh, you got Livramento, haven't you? I would probably say Marmoush to Evan-Nilsson or KDB to Saka probably stand out as the transfers for me there if I was to look at it. Paul Mulvey says, holding first in my mini-league by 15 points. Okay, 2 free transfers. Wood and Sarr to Evan-Nilsson and Bowen. Wood and Sarr to Evan-Nilsson and Bowen. Or KDB and Sarr to Saka and Bowen. So it's basically Wood to Evan-Nilsson or KDB to Saka. I would play Raya ahead of Kepa, by the way, to answer that question. So would I prefer Wood to Evan-Nilsson or KDB to Saka? I think KDB to Saka, slightly, just about. Because I think Saka's going to be a really nice differential. Lots of people will be scared to go there because of the minutes, but I think he starts. Let's see if we get something in the next just over 2 hours. Don't make your moves yet if you can help it. And if we get a leak that Saka's travelled, because I think if Saka's travelled with the squad, Saka's going to start. Right? That Saka doesn't travel all the way to Southampton to sit on the bench. So I think wait for a leak if you can. Thanks for the great content year on year. You're welcome, Magnetic Sparks something. I don't see the rest of your name. 200 points clear in my mini league. 200 points is hilarious. 74k rank. That's very good. Looking for a punt on Sarr for someone spicy. Let's have it. Yeah, I like it. I think Minte, I think Gruder are really nice in that game. I think you could go for a Kudus. You could go for a... I mean, if you want to risk it on an Arsenal mid, you could. Kluivert, Semenyo are both good options. Tavernier, if you want to go really risky. Trying to think who else there is. I mean, I don't really love the midfielders. If you have enough money to get from Sarr to Bowen, Luis Diaz, I think they're the top 2. But for me, I can't quite get to Luis Diaz. Bambi says, thank you for the great content and the positive vibes. You're more than welcome. Thank you for the support. Ariel Lavender says, Captain Bowen / Salah, -4 for Vardy to Evan-Ilson. Yes, for the hit for Vardy to Evan-Ilson. I think Salah is a slightly better option for captaincy than Bowen. But if you're chasing, I don't think there's that much between Salah and Bowen. So if you're really chasing 10 points plus, I'd captain Bowen. I'm only chasing 6 points, so I'm tempted to just captain Salah because I think he's better. Marcus says, if I keep Isak, would you bench Rodgers or Eze? I would start Eze and bench Rodgers personally. Or is it better to start both rather than playing a 4 at the back? Oh, yeah, then I would start both and bench. Oh, that's tough, though. You'd have to bench one of Livramento or Dan Burn. They're really good options this week, though. Oh, that is tough. I don't normally like a 4 at the back. I still think I'd start Rodgers and Eze. And I'd bench one of those Newcastle defenders. Probably. Oh, God, actually, would I? You could just bench Rodgers. Is Rodgers better than Dan Burn, though? Probably. I'd bench Dan Burn. The only reason I'm hesitant is, and I'll try and call this now, Branthwaite and Tarkowski both being out makes Everton very susceptible to conceding from set pieces, and BDB has been getting on a lot of corners and free kicks recently, so that's the only concern there. Hayden says, I have two scenarios. Mateta to Evan-Ilson and Sarr for a mid up to 9.5, or Isak to Evan-Ilson and Sarr to Saka. Both scenarios I have to bench Rodgers. I like Mateta to Evan-Ilson and Sarr to one of Bowen or Diaz. Hayden. That's the way that I would go with it. JC12 says Savinho to 9.8 or less midfielder, or Savio and Haaland to any -4. I would just go Savio to Bowen or Luis Diaz as well. Tom Whitbread says 2 free transfers, Salah and Isak to Saka and Haaland. No. Salah and Isak for me is a better pairing than Saka and Haaland, unless we get a leak that Isak doesn't start. But in that case, I'd rather just do Isak to Evan-Ilson. I just don't see Saka and Haaland as being a better... Unless, Tom, if you're really chasing, Saka and Haaland is a much lower-owned pairing than Salah and Isak. Trina says, thanks for all the help this season, Raptor. You're more than welcome. Last question. Okay, I'm here. Do you think Spurs will park the bus again? Nah. I don't think Spurs will park the bus. I've put 2-2 Brighton and Spurs. I don't think Spurs are going to get battered like 6-0 by Brighton like some people think. I do just think there'll be a lot of goals in that game. I can't see him parking the bus final home game of the season. So I would guess there's goals, but I don't think it's going to be like silly. Is KDB better than Saka this week? No, Saka's better than KDB. And would you go without an Arsenal player today? Isak versus Evan-Ilson. All right, there's so many questions there. So no, I don't think Spurs will park the bus. Is KDB better than Saka? No, I think Saka's better. Would I go without an Arsenal player today? I think unless it's a defender or Saka, they're probably not worth it. Would I be happy going without an Arsenal player? No, I'd want at least one defender because they're going to be very highly owned. But you could take the risk. Like, if Southampton score a goal, then you're fine. And then Isak versus Evan-Ilson. If Isak gets more than 70 minutes, I think Isak's a better option than Evan-Ilson. If Isak gets less than 70, at that point, I'm probably saying that Evan-Ilson's a better option. So it's how you predict his minutes. I think as a result, Evan-Ilson is probably a marginally better option than Isak. Good luck this week, Trina. Greg says, good morning from New York City. Always grateful to be able to join the live streams when I can wake up in time. I appreciate you being here. And sorry to everyone that's in different time zones. I know I don't decide the deadlines, but I can only imagine that's quite rough, having to wake up in the early hours in the morning for stuff. Thanks for the great content all season. I hope you get to enjoy your time off. Thank you, Greg. I really appreciate that. Thank you for all of the love, everyone. It's very, very sweet. Adios says, final message for you, Humpty Dumpty, then I'll leave you be. You're more than welcome to ask as many questions as you want, mate. I've only started watching the last 2 months or so, but I really appreciate all the streams. They're very informative. I'm glad to hear that. Would you captain Salah, Bowen, or Evan-Ilson? So I've got a captaincy ranking top left of the screen, Adios, where I've gone Salah, Saka, Bowen, Evan-Ilson in that order, and I still maintain that that would be my top 4. So I think it comes down to ownership. If you are protecting, slightly chasing, or just don't care about ownership and want to captain the best player, I would go Salah. If you are chasing 10 plus more points or want to differentiate from a mini league rival, I would then go Bowen or Evan-Ilson. Because Bowen is a midfielder, I would just lean Bowen. So hopefully that helps. But I think it really depends on where you're at, basically. Blicky94 says, hi, mate, 7 points ahead in my mini league with no Salah, who my rival has. Can't afford Salah directly, so thinking a -4 for Salah and Evan-Ilson for Mateta and Palmer. Yeah, it's probably worth blocking Salah if you've got a 7-point lead. All I will say, though, mate, is if you're 7 points ahead and take a -4 hit, I know this is quick maths with FPL Raptor, that only puts you 3 points ahead of your mini league rival. So at that stage, it's basically a straight shootout. I do like Mateta and Palmer to Salah and Evan-Ilson, though. I'd be very tempted to do that for a -4, yeah. Especially if all you care about is that mini league. Aaron Curley says, hi, mate, best punt replacement for Cunha. I'd probably keep Cunha now. Strand Larsen's a doubt, isn't he? Havertz or Gakpo? Neither. But if I had to go for one, I'd go Gakpo. if I was going for a punt replacement, it's not Ollie Watkins, it's Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck would be who I'd go for to replace Cunha. I'll leave it there. But I think you could keep Cunha. I think there's a good chance he starts. Hi, Ross. What positions for a -4? Milenkovic/Konate. I wouldn't take a -4 for a defender. Milenkovic/Konate, who would I start? Milenkovic, probably. More goal threat. More likely to... I think that Liverpool Crystal Palace game could be anything. If you told me Palace win 3-0, I'd be like, yeah, fair. If you told me Liverpool wins 6-4, I'd go fair. If you told me it was a really boring, like, 1-1, I'd go, yeah. I have no idea of that Liverpool game. Like, neither team have anything to play for. I've guessed 4-2 to Liverpool, but not sure. Hatik says, hey, Ross, thanks for helping me destroy my mini-league mates. Hi, I'm glad you could do so. Hope the channel and FPL therapy keeps soaring. I appreciate that. ATB with the PhD as well. What's ATB mean? All the best. Okay, thank you very much. Gonna miss asking for Sells. Oh, Hatik, I saw your name and I was like, what does Hatik ask me every week? Sells versus Henderson every week. Well, you don't need to ask me this week. Start Gvardiol and Bradley or get Kirkes and Burn, 1 free transfer. Gvardiol and Bradley. I think Gvardiol and Bradley are fine. I wouldn't take a hit for that. In fact, I think I'd keep both. If you're going to remove one, it's probably Bradley out for Kirkes. But I mean, I've got Gvardiol and Bradley, and I'm very happy. Unless we get a leak that Trent starts, I'd feel pretty confident with those. Tobias gives me your team. It says 2 free transfers, 99k and one top 100k at least. Okay, 99k. It's gonna be close. Backline looks very solid. Midfield looks good. Forward line looks good. I mean, mate, nothing stands out hugely to me. It's a similar team to me. I think KDB to Saka or Bowen is an option if we get a leak that he's benched, and then Isak to Even Ilson. I think you've basically got to keep an eye on leaks for KDB and Isak. If both of them are confirmed to start, then probably Nico Williams is the weakest link in your starting 11. And then maybe you look to make a defender transfer. So one of those 3 players or 2 of those 3 players you could take out. I suppose you could take a risk on something like Wissa to Even Ilson if nothing else stands out. But I actually really like Wissa, as I've said a couple of times. Shumpo says, first in my mini league by 17 points. Second has Bowen and no Isak. Has Bowen, no Isak. I have KDB and Isak only 1 free transfer. Is it worth KDB to Bowen to protect or to Saka or Isak to Even Ilson? Don't care for rank. You're first by 17 points and he has Bowen. I would cover Bowen. Yeah, that's a big risk to you. Like, Bowen is a player that could get 12 points. I don't think Bowen's the sort of player that could get 17, but even if Bowen gets 9 and your alternative gets 2, then you've cut the gap to 7 there, by 7, so it'd be down at 10. I just think Bowen is the player to block there, Shumpo, if you're focusing on mini-league. So yeah, I would do that. Thanks for all the content this season, Ross. I appreciate it, Dean. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you being a member as well. Jeff T says, thanks, Ross, for another amazing season. Thank you for acknowledging the mental health aspects of FPL. Wishing you and Pickle the best this summer. Thank you, Jeff. I probably don't do enough to do that. I'd like to do more in the future, but yeah, very important to talk about mental health. I'm always happy to do so. And thank you for the support. Ahmed, 31 points over my mini-league rival. Okay, you're sorted, mate. No need to stress. He got Salah and Marmoush, and I have Eze and Haaland. Fine. 1 free transfer for us. He'll likely do KDB to Bowen. Should I do a -8 to match him and block? I think he'll captain Salah. Honestly, mate, 31 points. Just have fun. You can come back and have a go at me if you lose that, but 31 points in a given week, it seems very unlikely. Especially if your team looks decent. I would just leave it. But if you do want to match, do you take a -8 to match? It'll be 23. If your -8 completely matches his team and you're 23 points ahead, then yeah, then you've won. So it depends how similar the rest of your teams are. But yeah, -8 to match him, you're sorted. Then you win. It depends how defensive you want to play, I guess. Who do you prefer, White, Kirkes, or Fabian Schär? Just about Ben White, but then I'd say probably White, Schär, Kirkes in that order. Leading my mini-league by 2 points. He has triple captain and will put on Salah. Should I sell Haaland, Sarr and Rodgers to Salah, Diaz and Even Ilson and cover the triple captain? No, that's a horrible idea. Sorry, that's rude to say. No, so if you're leading by 2 points and you take a -8, you're then losing by 6 points. And you've done all of that to buy the player that he's going to triple captain, so he'll still gain on you. What you have to do, sadly, Ahmed, and this sounds awful, is just not have Salah and just hope that his triple captain Salah flops, which is unlikely, I'm aware, but if you were like 20, 30 points ahead, it's worth being defensive. You can't be defensive when you're 2 points ahead and take a -8, because then you just put yourself in the back seat. I would say no to that. I would just try and get as many points as you can back against Salah and hope. Salah's not been great recently. He could blank. You never know. I don't think he will, by the way. JM says, thanks for your help this season. You're more than welcome, Jay. Thank you again for being in all of the streams. Nice to see the regulars. One free transfer. De Bruyne to Saka. Take another hit. Bench okay. Have you got your bench right? I think you've got your bench spot on. Maybe you could make an argument to start Milenkovic ahead of Nico Williams. But Nico Williams, good for baseline bonus. Taking set pieces. I think you're good there. Is there anything I would change there? No, I think you're spot on, mate. Yeah, De Bruyne to Saka. I think you've got the bench. I will just say I wouldn't be surprised if Areola doesn't start and Fabianski does because it's his final game for West Ham. But you've got Sells on the bench if that's the case. Worst case scenario would be if Areola gets some minutes. But I think he'll either start or not play. So yeah, I'd be pretty happy with that team. De Bruyne to Saka. You should hopefully get a green arrow, mate. Stan says, hi Ross, would you do Fernandes to Saka or Murphy to Luis Diaz? And then I have to decide if to bench Wood or Murphy/Fernandes. Thank you. I assume this is Enzo. Even if it's Bruno, I guess it doesn't matter. You'd want to sell either. I think I would do, Fernandes to Saka. And then I would bench... Oh, would I bench Murphy or Wood? Probably Murphy. Fernandes to Saka and bench Murphy. Just. But I think that's very close. Hey K Huey says, hey Ross, going to miss you. I'm going to miss you guys too. I think Sells versus Raya is close. Southampton have always ruined my defence with clean sheet wipeouts. What do you think? Yeah, I think Sells versus Raya is close-ish, but I would still say Raya. I understand what you mean, by the way. I've backed against Southampton all season, and it has gone horribly for me every time. But if I look at this objectively, it just is a better fixture. I would go Raya, and I'd do it pretty happily as well. That tie is very wonky. Bowen for a -4 or start Sarr. I'm defending my lead. So will Bowen outscore Sarr by 4 points? That is a hit I would be tempted to take. I would be tempted. But at the same time, I think Palace will score goals, and Sarr doesn't mind a big game. I would just about say yes. Just about. But I'd need to see a lot more of the context, I think. Chris Meister says, thanks for all the streams and vids. We'll all be back for more next year. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. For anyone that's coming back next year for more, I appreciate it. Need to drop one of Bowen, KDB, Salah, and Burmo, Murphy, Wissa, or even Ilson. Need to drop one. I assume you mean bench one. Oof. Dear Lord. What a team. What a team. You've got everyone there, pretty much. Probably Jacob Murphy. Jacob Murphy, probably just about. He's the one that stands out to me there. But I really think he's a great option as well. But it's nice to at least have a strong first sub, because you never know if someone might miss out. Michael Dean says, thanks for the content this season. You're welcome, Michael. Heading to Fulham versus Man City. I hope that goes well for you if you're a Man City fan. 2 free transfers, 1.4 million in the bank, and 2 points ahead in my mini league. Cunha/Isak and Murphy to even Ilson, Bowen, Martinelli. Okay, so you tell Cunha or Isak and Murphy to even Ilson, one of Bowen and Martinelli. I think Cunha and Murphy to even Ilson and Bowen for free sounds good, mate. If you can afford that. I think you can. Yeah. Can you? Yeah. I think you should be able to afford that. Yeah. Cunha and Murphy to even Ilson, Bowen. Unless we get a leak that Isak doesn't start, but that probably won't come until just before the deadline. And at that stage, you might already be on your way to Fulham City, so maybe you can't take that risk. Chandler says, okay, you give me your team. Wissa for a -4. I'm confused. Wissa for a -4? Worth a -8, Cunha to even Ilson, or play Cunha for who? So worth -8 to do Cunha to even Ilson, or play Cunha for who? You could play Cunha ahead of Rodgers. I don't hate that. The thing is with Cunha, he's a bit of a minutes risk, so maybe you just bench Cunha. Like, when you've got such a strong other 7 attackers... Like, if I had Cunha instead of Wissa... Sorry, let's say I had Cunha instead of Sarr somehow. Like, I think if I had a minutes risk and 7 other good attackers, I'd be tempted to bench Cunha. Because I still think he's great this week, but is it worth it? Maybe not. Piyush says, been sick and missed the last few weeks. I'm sorry you've been sick. I've got 3 free transfers and my triple captainship. Need help on transfers and triple captain play. I triple captain Salah. In terms of transfers, I think Sarr to... You haven't told me how much money you've got in the bank, mate. KDB to Saka, Sarr to Bowen, and fund that with Marmoush or Isak to even Ilson. I think they're 3 nice transfers. You could also potentially make a defender transfer. Saliba to White, Saliba to Livramento. I'd need to think about how much money you've got, which combination you want to make, what that would mean for your bench. It's a little bit too difficult to do on a stream. But those 4 transfers, KDB to Saka, Sarr to Bowen, Marmoush or Isak, depending how much money you need, down to even Ilson. And you could also consider Saliba to someone like Ben White or Fabian Schär or Dan Burn if you need the funds. Thor says, last Family Feud update. 31 versus 32 points last game week. Wow. That's a tough week for the pair of you. I got like 71, didn't I? I had a very lucky week, though, in all honesty. Literally, like, it was the luckiest week of the season for me. Rank plummeting for both of us at the tail end of the campaign. Always the next season. Thanks for your content. You're more than welcome. I hope next season both you and your wife do very, very well, my friend. What are you? What are you smiling at? There's a husband and wife playing. Thor gives us an update every single stream. Yeah, Thor gives us the Family Feud update every week. Thor, I kind of... I won't do this. I was going to say, Thor, I kind of want to join your family league next year so that I can keep up to date with how it's going. Can you just imagine? You've just got all your family members and then just FPL Raptor in the league. Maybe I will. God, sorry about the shiny egg, by the way. It's quite hot in a suit. Hey, Ross, Eze to Diaz for a hit. No. Not for, by the way, I love Luis Diaz, but I also think Eze could do well. And if he is on pens, which we expect, doesn't need to play well to score a goal. Lewis, I've missed your chat. There he is. Okay, I've got your team, Lewis. 2 free transfers. What are your suggestions? Thanks for the streams. You're welcome, Lewis. 2 free transfers. Okay, goalkeeper's good. Defense is brilliant. God, defense looks really good. Midfield, solid. Mate, that is a cracking team. I think Wood or Marmoush to even Ilson is an upgrade, so I would be tempted to do either of those, or to Welbeck. In fact, you could do something like, and I'm not saying you have to do this, but Wood and Marmoush to even Ilson and Welbeck. Like, they're upgrades. I look at your team, and there aren't many places you can upgrade it. Maybe KDB to Saka as well, actually. Maybe what you do... would you want to sell 2 City players, though? KDB to Saka and Marmoush to even Ilson feel like upgrades. Even Ilson and Saka coming in. Lewis, but, I mean, your starting 11 looks so good. I don't think you... If you told me you're not going to make a transfer and you're just going to burn them, I wouldn't even mind. Like, it looks so solid. Smells like Yellow 182 says, leading my mini league by 50 points. Great stuff. He still has the bench boost. I still think you should be fine. Should I switch out Marmoush and Wood for Whisper and even Ilson -4? I know I've just said to Lewis above that I would sell Marmoush and Wood, but that's because he has 2 free transfers. I think in your case, you don't need to sell them both. I'd probably keep Chris Wood. Can you hear that? Mm-hmm. I live in Nottingham city centre, by the way. Nottingham is already popping off. Like, I live nowhere near... I live like a 30-minute walk from the city ground, and it's already popping off. Yep. Forest fans are up for this game. I would keep Chris Wood on that note. And yeah, that was a sign. I would keep Chris Wood on that note, and I would sell Marmoush for even Ilson. Shazam says, 21 months of the egg. No questions from me, just wishing everyone good luck and have a great close season. Take care and enjoy the summer. Thank you, my friend. Not only do you super chat on a regular basis and DM me on a regular basis, you also have been a member for 21 months. Crazy stuff. Bench boost active. Chasing my mini league by 30 points. Okay, mate. You should be fine. Oh, sorry. Chasing. I think it's protecting. Yeah. Okay. That's going to be 30 points. Is tough to make up, but we can try it. Would you take a -8 to switch KDB and Isak to Saka and Welbeck? If you take a -8, mate, you're chasing 38 points. I don't think you can afford to take it here. I think you just have to hope that Isak and KDB pop off. I really don't think you can afford to take a hit when you're 30 points behind. 38 points in a single week is almost unheard of. So, no, I wouldn't take the hit. Sorry. Unless you are also, like, chasing other people. Let's say you're not just chasing 1 and you're chasing 2 or 3, then maybe. But if it's just literally trying to make up 30 points, I'm less keen on that, personally. With the bench boost active, you never know, though, mate. You never know. I guess 38 points with a bench boost is possible. Mate, Ross, thank you so much for this season. Really helpful, sir. Thank you, Pratik. I appreciate that. I'm glad I could help. Eamon says, I'm 49 points ahead of my mini-league rival, but he has the free hit left. Honestly, mate, even if he has the free hit. If he makes up 49 points on you, you've done something horribly wrong, and he's done something very well. What would I do? I would try and cover the players he'll own on the free hit that have high upside that you don't own now. So even you could take a -4, like Bowen, even Ilson, Saka, Salah. They're the high upside players. Probably even Ilson, Bowen, Saka are the 3 players that he will probably have on a free hit that you might not have. Try and cover 1 or 2 of them. That's what I would recommend. Faisal's become a Rep Tier 2 member. Thank you very much, Faisal. Bruh says, hey, Ross, bench Rodgers or Marmoush. Thank you. If you're chasing, I would bench Rodgers. If you're protecting or happy with your rank, I'd bench Marmoush. I think Rodgers Marmoush is so close that I would make that purely based on EO and ownership. Hayden says, I'm ranked 68k. Who is the best to buy and who has the best minutes out of Diaz, Martinelli, Gordon, Erdegaard? Captain on Saka, but Hart says Bowen. I agree with captaincy, by the way, mate. In terms of who I would buy, I don't know if they're the safest for minutes. I think all 4 of those are a slight doubt, but I would buy Luis Diaz. He's been unbelievable for data across the last 6 to 10 weeks. I think Luis Diaz is a great buy. If I could get to Luis Diaz from Sarr, hands down, I would do Sarr to Diaz and bench Rodgers. I would have already probably made that transfer. I'd be feeling so good about it. But at the same time, let's wait because you might get a leak that Luis Diaz doesn't start. AKU says, hi, Ross Eggman Raptor. Thank you for all of the good content this year. De Bruyne to Saka, De Bruyne to Bowen, or Isak to Welbeck to target the drunk Spurs players. Could do a combination for a hit. Let's wait for a team leaks, because if De Bruyne starts and we get a leak that Isak's out, then I would change. But if we don't get any leaks at all, De Bruyne to Saka is my favourite of those transfers, AKU. I really like De Bruyne to Saka if you can get there. If not, De Bruyne to Bowen's great. Isak to Welbeck is also fine too. Jace says, if Isak starts, would you still sell for Ivan Nilsson in order to get Mbermo to hedge my rival? He also has Isak. I'm 17 points ahead, but very different teams. If you're 17 points ahead and he has Isak, then I would keep Isak. I don't think that's a risk that you want to take on. If he has Mbermo, though, and you want to get there, that is interesting. I think 17 points ahead, Jace, you want to try and match your mini-league rival as much as possible. So I think try and get your team as close to his as possible would be my advice. Whatever that looks like on your end. If you have to choose between having one of Isak or Mbermo, I think Mbermo is a slightly better option. So maybe do make the move to sell Isak if that's the only way for you to get Mbermo. You can poke your head on if you want. You can poke. Do you want to say hello?
Yeah, I can do. How close do I need to get? Oh no.
You're not happy with your... Just, oh no. I got my egg out. It's very bright, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Is that it? Do you want to say hello anymore? I'm not even on the... One sec.
No one cares.
Hi, Pickle. It's just slightly delayed. No one cares. I'm taking a drink. You can speak if you want.
Bye, guys. How does my arm look so big on your camera? Jesus.
Because you're muscular.
No, it's not good. My tricep.
It's hot under this light.
Why don't you take off your suit?
Because I mean business, Pickle. I mean business. But yeah, in a second I'm going to have to because my head's just going to get shinier and shinier. All right, where was I? Faisal says, leading my mini-league by 12. Okay, Faisal. He has Bowen and Ivan Nilsson. Is it worth doing a Sarr and Varley's Bowen and Ivan Nilsson for a -4? Or do I block just one of them with my free transfer? I'd block both. I think they both have high upside. You'd still be 8 points ahead. I would block both, personally, Faisal. Can Semenyo cover for Ivan Nilsson? Fancy a Welbeck pump. Can Semenyo cover it? That isn't the way FPL works, but if you prefer Welbeck, then go Welbeck. Yeah. I wouldn't focus on the Semenyo Ivan Nilsson part. I would just look at, do you prefer Welbeck to Ivan Nilsson? Lewis says, I won my mini-league. I'm top 1k in the world. Fair play, Lewis. Absolutely smashed it. Got one free transfer and want to bring in a fun pick for the last game week. Any suggestions? Fun picks. I think a Brighton player. Gruder, Minte, Welbeck. Other than that, you could go for a Mohamed Kudus. You could go for... Who's a fun punt? I think that's it. There's not many fun punts, really, is there? I would go for a Brighton attacker, probably, if I was going for a fun punt. Carlo says, hey, Ross, equal with my mini-league rival. Okay. Both 2 free transfers. He has KDB, Bowen, and Wissa. Thoughts on Eze and Cunha to Ivan Nilsson and Bowen, or KDB and Cunha / Marmoush to Wissa and Bowen, or KDB and Cunha / Marmoush to Ivan Nilsson and Saka. I think KDB and Marmoush to Ivan Nilsson and Saka. And just try and differentiate. Like, there's no point sort of blocking your rival when you're equal, right? You might as well try and win it. I think the bottom option stands out the most to me there, Carlo. Ivan Nilsson and Saka. I tell you what, Nottingham is popping off right now. Bear in mind, kickoff's not for a few hours. Like, it's loud in Nottingham. I think Forest might do it, you know. I might change my prediction. Oh, no, I've got them winning 1-0, actually, in my predictions. I think they could do it. Abimanu says, bench boost. Okay. Weakest links for 2 free transfers, 1 hit. What are the weakest links? Areola could be a weak link, but maybe it's worth taking a risk. Lewis Dunk feels like a weak link. Munoz doesn't feel like the strongest. Your attack looks very... I think your weakest link is probably your defense and maybe your goalkeeper. But the thing is, if Areola starts, he's great. I think Dunk would be a weak link for me. I think Dunk to Livramento or Burn stands out as a transfer. And then maybe Cunha to Ivan Nilsson if you want to not take the risk on Cunha's minutes. I would be slightly tempted to take out Arietta. Something to think about, just because Fabianski could get his final game at West Ham in goal. But at the same time, if they were going to give Fabianski a game, surely they give him the final home game of the season, and he didn't even come on the pitch. Fabianski actually commented, by the way, after the game, that it was a shame that he couldn't play any minutes in that game. I don't know why they didn't. Very weird from Potter. So I don't know. But yeah, I think definitely Lewis Dunk to a Newcastle defender stands out. Hayden says, 24 points behind. Gone as differential as possible. Both have Salah, assuming a captaincy. -4 for Bowen/Saka. Hope for a blank or just avoid a minus completely. Yeah, I obviously wouldn't captain. I wouldn't captain Salah. I would be very tempted to take the -4. I would be tempted to sell Salah. If like all you care about, if like it's the only thing you care about is winning this mini league, and you've got to catch up 24 points, you've got to go super different. So like selling Salah to Saka or something's an option. If you care about rank as well, and you've also got people chasing you in that mini league, then maybe you don't take that much of a risk. But yeah, I certainly wouldn't be captaining Salah. I think Saka's probably the highest upside differential you can buy this week. Because I think Bowen and Evan-Ilson are getting bought by so many people that Bowen and Evan-Ilson aren't going to end up being differentials. But I think Saka is so difficult to get to that he still will. I would be surprised if Saka's over 30% EO. Because I just don't think many people are going to be able to get there. Nathaniel says, are you in the suit to propose to pick on stream today? Oh, thanks, Nathaniel. You've ruined it. So now I can't. Cheers for the content and help over the season. Best FPL channel and all around a good egg. Thank you, Nathaniel. I appreciate that. Intoxicator LOL says, do you prefer the combination of Erdegaard/KDB/Welbeck or Murphy, Saka, Evan-Ilson or Welbeck? So basically Erdegaard and KDB or Murphy and Saka. I mean, Murphy and Saka by some distance. Murphy and Saka by some distance. In terms of Evan-Ilson, Welbeck, trust your gut feeling. I would still marginally prefer Evan-Ilson, I think. Best of luck in the last game. We can see you next season. See you next season. Do you know what? It makes me really happy when people say see you next season. There's always a worry as a content creator that you'll turn up to the next season and like no one will watch your videos. So when someone says see you next season, it makes me happy. Scammerim. As if your name's Scammerim. No, it's not jokes. This guy's name's Scammerim. Don't do my boy dirty like that. Thanks for the season, Ross. You're welcome. 2 free transfers, 0.1 in the bank. With Watkins, Wissam, okay, you give me a team. Please suggest transfers and bench. Trossard is great if he starts, but there's a slight worry that at the moment I would bench probably Morgan Rogers from your team. In terms of who you sell, probably Marmoush to Evan-Ilson. Seems like an okay transfer. And then maybe a transfer on the defence. I don't think you want to take out 2 of those attackers there, really. You could do like Rogers and Eze to... No, you can't afford Bowen, can you? I think the only thing that stands out there is Marmoush to Evan-Ilson. Marmoush to Evan-Ilson, and does that give you enough to get Eze to Bowen? That's an option. If you want to do 2 transfers, Marmoush to Evan-Ilson, Eze to Bowen. Otherwise, just Marmoush to Evan-Ilson, and then use the transfer on the defence. Ham says, hi, Ross. Thanks for... Missed you now. Ham, where have you gone? I'm a little bit behind on the super chats, aren't I? Hi, Ross. Thanks for all the hard work this season. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Everyone's so lovely. Chasing 25 points in my mini-league. Okay. It's at the higher end of possible, but I believe in you. Very similar team to you. 1 free transfer and triple captain chip. Okay, with the chip active, it could be. Haven't watched any content this week, so help needed. Triple captain... Do you know what? If you're triple captaining and you need... I would triple... If all you care about is the mini-league, Ham, I would triple captain someone that you know for a fact your mini-league rival will not own. So if your mini-league rival won't own a Bowen or an Evan-Ilson or a Welbeck or something like that, triple captain that player. Don't triple captain Salah because you need to make up 25 points. In terms of then transfers, yeah, Isak to Evan-Ilson. If we get a leak, he's out. Selling Sarr for a cheap midfielder or selling Saliba for Ben White or Fabian Schär. But yeah, triple captain someone that you think your mini-league rival won't own is my advice. Krishy says, look at the Eggman in a suit. I'm here. Ross looking slick and really handsome. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate that. Thanks for the streams and let's meet again next season. Loads of love. Big love, mate. Thank you very much. Tyler Joseph, give me your team. Bench boost chip active, 2 free transfers. Ranks 2nd in my mini league, 76 points behind 1st. Right, I'll tell you now, even if you score 190 points, you're not getting up to 1st. 76 points isn't possible, but you can still have a really good final week. Dibbling is the standout. So what I would do is I would downgrade Marmoush to Evan-Ilson and upgrade Dibbling to someone like Semenyo. Would probably be my recommended transfers. So yeah, Dibbling up to Semenyo, Marmoush down to Evan-Ilson, and just have a good final week. Bench boost will still be fun. Louis Clarkson says, 1 point ahead. Do you play Flecken or Sells, Nico or Cucurella? Nico Williams. Do you know what I'd be tempted to do? Oh, should you diversify here? I'm wondering if you play Nico Williams and Sells and hope for a clean sheet. Because I don't think Flecken keeps a clean sheet against Wolves. I'd go Sells and Nico Williams probably, and I'd just go all in on the Forest clean sheet. If you want to differentiate slightly, I think probably Sells and Kukurea and bench Nico Williams. Mark says, hi Ross, Eze to Diaz or Wood to even Ilson? Don't love either of those, but probably Wood to even Ilson. Playing 5 midfielders or 3 forwards depending on the transfer. Open to any suggestions. Thanks for everything, Eggman. They're both transfers, which I don't love. Because I think Eze and Wood are both okay. Eze to Diaz or Wood to... I'd probably say Wood to even Ilson just. Just about. If I predict the way those games will go, I think Palace score maybe a couple. Forest probably only score 1. If that goal's Chris Wood, though, it's a 9-pointer. I'd do Wood to even Ilson. Pratik says, leading my mini-league by 17 points. Need blessings. Okay. Firstly, sending you my blessings. 17 points. 1 free transfer and 1 million in the bank. Captaincy and transfers. If you're leading by 17, captain who you think your mini-league rival will captain, which is probably Salah in most cases. In terms of transfers, 1 free transfer. Mateta to even Ilson. That's an easy one. That feels an easy one. Yeah. I think you can do it. I would captain Salah and do Mateta to even Ilson. Jace says, also rooting for your 10k and love the suit. Thank you, Jace. I appreciate that. And sorry if I butcher your name every time. I think it's Jace. It might not be, though. With the little dots over the eyes. It might not be. If so, I've been saying your name wrong for years now. Toby Wilson says, Haaland and Sarr to Welbeck and Saka, or Mateta and Sarr to Welbeck and Diaz, then bench Rodgers. Oh, that's a tough one. I would go Mateta and Sarr to Welbeck and Diaz. Mateta and Sarr to Welbeck and Diaz. AG says, I'm on bench boost. Would you take a hit for Timber and Munoz for Ben White and Calafiori? No. I would sell Timber for Ben White and I would keep Munoz. Munoz to Calafiori is not worth a hit. But Timber to Ben White's a great transfer. Carl Smith says, I'm 10 points clear of my mini-league rival, but he has the bench boost. Okay. -4 for Saliba to Kirkes and Isak to even Ilson. Saliba to Kirkes. Okay. Or play Munoz and do Isak to someone. No Saka. So is Kirkes 4 points better off than Munoz? I would just do the Isak to even Ilson move. I don't think you need to make a defensive transfer. I think if you're taking a -4 for a defender this week, it has to be a real stinker. Like Munoz is fine. Munoz could score in any given game. Tafan with a big boy super chat. Thank you for the support, my friend. Says ranked 4,000th in the world. Bloody hell. 24 points ahead first in my mini league. Fair play. Planning Palmer out and Isak out for Saka and even Ilson. Yeah, Saka captain's great as well. Main threat going into Game Week 38 is Rodgers and Ruben Diaz at the moment. Am I okay? Mate, firstly, you're ranked 4K. Secondly, you're 25 points in your mini league. You're getting Saka and even Ilson. And your only 2 threats are Rodgers and Ruben Diaz. It sounds like your team's perfect, mate. You go smash it. Go smash it. Isak to even Ilson -4. No. Not unless we get a leak that even Ilson doesn't start. Sarr to Bowen's great, yeah. Isak to even Ilson for a hit doesn't feel worth it unless, again, Isak doesn't start. 671 rank. Is that K or... I'm going to assume you're top 1K by the way you've put that. Would you do KDB to Saka or Bowen? If I could afford Saka, I prefer Saka to Bowen, but I don't think Bowen's far off. So yeah, if you can afford Saka, I'd go Saka. Brian Duodu says, chasing... Oh. Sometimes my chat just sort of refreshes. Chasing a good rank with 1 free transfer. What transfer would you make and who would you cap and start? Okay, so in terms of starting, I would bench Areola, Munoz, and Milenkovic. And out of your attackers, I would bench Sarr. But then you might sell Sarr. In terms of a transfer, I don't hate the idea of selling Sarr and benching Rodgers. It's something that I'm toying with. But it's just like, which midfielders do you go to? Maybe KDB to Saka would be my recommended transfer. It's KDB to Saka, Brian. Other than that, Sarr to someone like a Semenyo and then bench Rodgers. But I'm not that convinced that Semenyo is better than Rodgers or any of the midfielders under 7 million. I'm not that convinced that they are. Took your advice this season to enjoy FPL. No coincidence, I'm 61 points clear my mini-league. Big love, mate. That's the way it should be played. Have bench boost left. Second has no chips. Is it in the bag? If you had 61 points clear and second place had their bench boost, you would still be clear. So yeah, 61 points and a chip in play. You're sorted, mate. Best of luck, and I'm glad you've enjoyed this season. So Chelsea man says I have 2 free transferred and settled on Saliba to White and Mateta to Even Ilson. Mate, brilliant transfers, easy peasy. Nothing to play for. So would you go KDB to Saka or Sarr to Diaz for a -4? If you've got nothing to play for, yeah, might as well go for it. KDB to Saka looks nice, but Sarr to Diaz feels like Diaz is a bigger upgrade on Saka than Diaz is a bigger upgrade on Sarr than Saka is on KDB. But if you do Sarr to Diaz, who are you benching? I would say take the -4, mate. If you've got nothing to play for, you might as well have fun in the final weeks. Final week, I should say. Watkins for captain, or am I delusional? I don't see that. Yeah, I don't see that. I mean, Watkins could do really well, but I just don't see that, personally. But that's my opinion, right? FPL is a game of opinions. If you like the option of Isak, go for it. You okay there, Pickle? Hey, hey Ross, hi P-Bunny. I'm ahead by 15 points in my mini-league. My rival has Saka, but does not have Mbermo/Bowen. He might have 3 transfers to use. Would you take a -8 for Saka? A -8 for Saka, but then it's down to 7 points? No, I would just avoid Saka and hope Saka doesn't go too big, mate. I would leave the Saka move. Saka's not worth -8, because let's say Saka does really well and gets 10 points. You've gained 2, and that's not even taking into account what other moves you've made and what other moves you could have made. Saka would have to get like 15, 16 points for that to feel worth it. I just probably would hope that Saka doesn't do too well. Limit613 says, love your content. We'll miss the egg until next game week 1. I appreciate that. My plan is 2 free transfers. Mateta to Even Ilson/Welbeck. Who do you prefer? And then Eze to Bowen, KDB to Saka for a -4. I prefer slightly Even Ilson still, but Welbeck will be lower owned than Even Ilson. So if you want the lower owned option, it's Welbeck. Eze to Bowen's nice. Don't mind that. KDB to Saka's nice. Have Isak. No idea what to do depending on the leaks. Need to protect rank. I think go under the assumption Isak starts unless we hear otherwise. And if we hear otherwise, then Isak to Even Ilson's obviously fine. And then bench Mateta. But yeah, I would do all 3 of those moves. I think you're fine, mate. I think it looks good. Connor says, hey, have bench boost, 0 bin the bank. Pickford, Saliba, Harwood, Bellis. Okay, got your team. Options. White, Livramento, Wan-Bissaka, Sharda, stuck. Yeah, your defense is... your defense is where you need a bit of help, I think. Yeah, I would go for a defender option. If you can afford Livramento in for Harwood... No, actually, I would just do Saliba to White, mate. Connor, just do Saliba to White. Saliba to White, and then your defense looks a lot better. Then it'll be White, Kirkes, Munoz. Oh, no, you've got Guardiola. Oh, yeah, they're definitely that. Saliba to White, then it'll be White, Guardiola, Kirkes. That's a great defense. Yeah, Ben White. Lewis says, which 3 to start out of Guardiola, Kivior, Munoz, Conts from Bradley, then who to bench out of Rodgers and Mateta? Thanks for everything this season, my goat. I appreciate you, mate. If you're asking me, and again, you're top 1k in the world, Lewis, so I would trust yourself more than me, I would start Kivior, Guardiola, and Bradley, and I would bench Conts from Munoz, if it was me. But then Bradley is a bit of a risk, and Conts is going to be quite highly owned. If you want to secure top 1k and play defensively, just start Conts and bench Bradley. In terms of Rodgers and Mateta, I would start Rodgers and bench Mateta, because I think his minutes will be slightly lower than you'd hope. Lewis says, sorry for another question, but would Mbermo to Saka, I never apologise, by the way, that's why I'm here, to answer questions. Would Mbermo to Saka be an option over KDB to Saka? No, I think Mbermo's better than KDB. Is it an option, by the way? Yeah, absolutely. But do I like it? No. I think Mbermo's better than KDB this week. Liam says, what is this? I've signed up, by the way. There's a WhatsApp chat made by Craig Hope. It's like a WhatsApp channel. And he's going to tell us in this WhatsApp channel, apparently, if Isak arrives in the next hour. Let's hope so. I've got notifications on for it and everything. So maybe I'll get some Isak news off Craig Hope. By the way, Craig Hope is a really, really good, reputable journalist for Newcastle. And he's at the ground now. And if Isak arrives, he's going to tell us. So hopefully. And if Isak arrives, you'd assume he starts? Oh, where was I? I've lost where I was. Oh, Liam, there you go. 1 free transfer. Wood to Even Ilson and or Gundogan to Bowen or Saka. Should I take a -4? Gundogan to Bowen feels fine. I don't think you need to take a -4 to sell Wood to Even Ilson, basically, Liam. I think Wood is fine as an option. Have we had any leaks yet? No leaks yet, my friend. No leaks yet. Zodiac says, I've got 2 free transfers. Got Sarr, Rodgers, Isak. Not sure how to use them. What would you do? I mean, prioritise selling Sarr, mate, and then go from there. If we get a leak that Isak doesn't start, then we move from there. If you want to get from Sarr to like a Bowen or Luis Diaz, you could do Isak to Even Ilson and Sarr up. I think that's a fine option as well. Like I say, just because Isak starts doesn't mean you can't still sell him. He's not playing at a particularly high level at the moment. So Isak to Even Ilson is still on as an option. It might be that I still make that move. I've not made my transfer yet, just so you know. And I'm not set on captaincy either. I'm basically a mess. I'm 24 points ahead in my mini league. Okay. -4 is already locked. However, my defense is a mess. Okay. Raya, Areola, Saliba, Gvardiol, Munoz, Dunk. Worth taking a -8. Who? So at the moment, you're starting Gvardiol, Munoz, Dunk. Yeah, that does stink a bit, doesn't it? Saliba to White is probably worth it and bench Dunk. And then White, Gvardiol, Munoz. I would be very tempted to take the -4 and sell Saliba to White, Isak. Sarr to Diaz, worth a -4. Depends who you're starting. If you're having to start Sarr, maybe. But if you're not starting Sarr, if you're starting Rodgers, then probably not. I'd leave it there, Mo. Tom says, hi, Ross. On a free hit, Kepa, Kirkes, Wyatt. Okay, give me your team. Thoughts trying to be a bit differential. If you're trying to be differential, I would have Welbeck and not Watkins. Just if you're trying to be super differential. Other than that, mate, that's a stunning free hit. Love the defense. Gruder's a nice punt. Bowen, Cap, Diaz. Honestly, that team is perfect, but I would rather have Welbeck than Watkins on a free hit. But other than that, Tom, I really like it. Maybe if you're a Villa fan or something, Tom, then just keep Watkins so you can cheer him on. Hello, legend. Late in. Thanks so much for the season, mate. Knowing how much I appreciate you. Mate, I appreciate you more. You've been absolutely brilliant this season. And last season as well, to be fair. Which combo of Watkins and Howson or Welbeck and Gvardiol? Watkins and Howson or Welbeck and Gvardiol? I mean, in a straight shootout, I probably would go Welbeck and Gvardiol. But if you already own Watkins and Howson, it's not worth taking them out, for example. But I think Welbeck and Gvardiol as a pairing is slightly better. Keir Burrows says 10 points off top in my mini league and 20 points off the top 100k. If you had to pick, who would you bring in? Minte, Gordon, or Barnes? I'd probably go Minte now. Yeah, I've kind of got it in my head that if I make a midfield transfer, I think I'll go Minte. I like him. He's actually a player on FPL Therapy I discussed a few weeks ago. He was one of my top 3 players that I said, looking for next season, he's a player I've got my eye on. So, yeah, I quite like the idea of bringing him in. And I would rather sell Rodgers than KDB, personally. Chris says 160 points ahead in my mini league, thinking Mateta, Sarr, Munoz, and Timber to Welbeck, Saka, Kirkes, White for a -4 on bench boost. Mate, I've never seen such a perfect 4 transfers. Get that done, Chris. And good luck for Gameweek 38. Stuart says I'm 4 points behind in my mini league. We have exactly the same team, except I have KDB and he has Bowen. Should I do KDB to Saka and captain him if so? You're 4 points behind. I have KDB and he has Bowen. So your different would be... Yeah, KDB to Saka and Cap is quite nice. Although, if he doesn't own KDB, then KDB's already a differential. But yeah, if you can do KDB to Saka for free and Cap, it's a risk because you don't know what Saka's minutes will look like. Could Saka get 50, 60 mins? But he could do damage in that time. I don't mind it. FPL Victorious says, winning my mini league but chasing 7 points for top 50k. Go Welbeck instead of Even Ilson. Yeah, Welbeck instead of Even Ilson is the sort of thing that could gain you those 7 points. Also, is KDB to Saka worth the -4 if we get news that Saka starts? KDB to Saka is only worth a hit if we feel confident Saka starts and this is the important thing, I would want to know that KDB doesn't. Because if KDB does start, I don't think KDB to Saka is worth a -4, no. We are getting teased here by Craig Hope. He's just put a Sweden flag now in the chat and said the overnight vibes were positive. I told you this chat is it's not like a private chat. If you go on Craig Hope's Twitter, I can actually show you quickly, just so that people think I'm not getting like cartel messages coming through. If you go over to Twitter and type in Craig Hope, this guy, he posted. Oh god, my internet's struggling. Where was it? Has he deleted it now? He's deleted it. I think it's this channel here. I think it's still in his pinned tweet, but yeah, this new Newcastle thing. He tweeted earlier today. Do you reckon he's been told to take that down? I promise you, he tweeted earlier today and said, there's a new channel. I'm going to get Isak news before the deadline. And I was like, why is Craig Hope talking about FPL? He's taken it down. Anyway, I still think it's this one here. This. Yeah, that was very weird. He's deleted it. He's probably been told off. I'll also check my DMs now, but not on screen. But I'll see if anyone sent me a DM quickly as well. Right, what was I doing? Sorry, guys, I don't know where that message has gone now, that tweet. It's above. Oh. No, I think there was a tweet today that he sent, basically. There is a leak going around that Isak starts, but it's just like one of those, I just don't trust Newcastle in the nose because so many of them are wrong all the time. Anyway, I will share anything if I get anything reliable, basically. Oh my god. Did you hear my back then? Yeah. That was disgusting. Polkit says, hi Ross. Okay, KDB Nico to Diaz Cap White / Calafiori or KDB Haaland to Salah Welbeck. I have triple Forest defense, 750k. Overranked target, top 1 million. Or you're definitely going to get your target then. You're not going to drop out of that. KDB Nico to Diaz and Captain and White. I quite like that, mate. I quite like KDB Nico to Diaz, Captain and Ben White. I would do that one. I think that's fun. Dupe says, down 4 in my mini league. Few options. If Isak is fit, do KDB to Saka. If Isak is not fit, -4 to do Even Ilson in for Isak, KDB to Salah. Or should I just sell Palmer? I would rather sell Palmer than KDB, yeah. Probably. Yeah, I would rather sell Palmer than KDB personally. I think KDB is a better option than Palmer, based on what we've seen in recent weeks. Like, Palmer's just not doing it. And I think Forest is so good defensively when they need to be. They've not been recently, but when they need to be, they are. I think that plan looks perfect, but just replace KDB with Palmer, personally. Although, again, if we get a leak, and I think we will, about KDB, then that might change your opinion. I have Eze on the bench, Salah, Bowen, and Burmo, Rogers, Even Ilson, Wood, Wisser. 1 free transfer. Eze to Saka or Wood to Watkins? Thanks, mate. Eze to Saka or Wood to Watkins? Yeah, probably just about Eze to Saka, mate. Eze to Saka. Cunha to Even Ilson for a -4 or free transfer. Thoughts on Munoz? What do you mean for a -4 or free transfer? Which one is it? Cunha to Even Ilson for free is great. For a -4, no. Thoughts on Munoz? Listen, if I was in a position where I had to start Munoz today, I would not be fussed at all. Like, I really wouldn't care. I think it's an absolutely fine player to start. Okay, Tyler, I've got your team. Okay, 5 points up, 2 free transfers, 0 in the bank. Murphy to Diaz and or Isak to Even Ilson. Start Milenkovic. Or -4 for Even Ilson, Saka, Howson. Oh, -4 for Even Ilson, Saka, Howson's nice. I like the -4, Tyler. I do. 5 points up, though. That takes you to 1 point up. If you think after that... Right, here you go. Tyler, if you think after that -4, your team still looks better, go for it and just have a head-to-head with this guy. You've got 1 point up on him. If you think your team after that -4 still doesn't look as strong, maybe don't take the hit. Maybe just bank the advantage. I'd need to see their team. But basically, I do really like that -4. Wade has become a Rap Tier 2 member. Thank you very much, Wade. JPEG Sean says midfielder for a -4. Saar would get benched. Don't have Saka, Bowen or Diaz, defending a 23-point lead. Well done, firstly. 23 points, you should be fine. The only midfielder that I would take a -4 for this week is Saka, Bowen, or Diaz. So you've said you don't own the 3 of them. If you can get to any of them, they are worth a -4. I don't think there's a single midfielder. Maybe Mbermo, actually. I would chuck in there, maybe. Other than those 4 midfielders, I don't think there's anyone I would take a hit for. Like, I'm not going to hit to do Semenyo or something like that. It's just not for me. Isak and Eze to Even Ilson and Saka for a -4. Isak and Eze to Even Ilson Saka for a -4. It's close. It's very close. I'd want to get a little bit more confirmation Saka starts and be a little bit more confident that Isak isn't. Because if I think Isak does start, removing Isak and Eze as a hit, I don't love as much. Holly says, Ross, we've loved every stream this season. Thank you very much, Holly. And lots of love to Pickle for repping the girlies. She said thank you, if you didn't hear. Girl power. Bench Cunha or Murphy? Oh, bench Cunha or Murphy? If I knew Cunha was starting, I'd definitely bench Murphy, but I don't, so I would bench Cunha. And I wouldn't risk it. Murphy will start. Everton season ticket holder, and I think we get battered. If you're an Everton season ticket holder, maybe start Murphy, because then at least if he does score, it's like a little bit of a silver lining that your team are getting battered. AKU says, hey Ross, tough question, but as a United fan, how well do you think Villa will do? What have I've guessed 2-1. I think Villa will be a little bit shaky. I think they'll win. I think they'll score a couple of goals. Wouldn't be surprised if they conceded. I think I think the best case scenario for Villa is like 3-0. I think they could nick it 1-0, 2-1 as well, though. I don't think United have enough in them to beat Villa, though. Or draw. I think Villa will win. NUFC Will and the Little Mans are both claiming Isak starts. Might not do the Even Ilson move now and just do Palmer to Saka. Yeah, maybe, mate. I'm kind of the same opinion that I don't love selling Isak. I know lots of people are reporting that Isak starts, but again, Newcastle accounts are often so wrong. So it feels, I feel like I don't really want to trust them, you know? By the way, guys, we're almost at 1,000 likes and there are almost 5,000 people in here. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Next season, I've got so many plans for content, weekly live streams, loads of videos in pre-season. So if you want to get off to a hot start, make sure to subscribe and also drop a like as well. I really appreciate it. To fund Saka, who to lose between Wissa/Mbermo? Neither. I wouldn't sell Wissa or Mbermo for Saka. If you have to lose one, it's Wissa. Mbermo's just better because he's on pens. Trina says Trossard versus Saka for most points and most minutes played. Saka and Saka. Start 2 from Even Ilson, Wissa, Wood, Isak, assuming all start. Also, is Pickle keeping KDB? I think Pickle's currently leaning towards selling KDB.
Yeah, I'm not sure at the moment. I probably will.
But she's not sure. Start 2 from Even Ilson, Wissa, Wood, Isak. I would start Even Ilson and Isak and bench Wissa and Wood, assuming that all start. And yeah, I think Saka's just much better than Trossard for minutes and for points. Jack said, okay, I've got your team, Jack. Rogers first sub, 27 points ahead in my mini league. 1 free transfer, what would you do? Mate, that is a cracking team. You've got KDB, Saka, Bowen, and Even Ilson. And Salah. That, honestly, Jack, I don't want to toot your horn too much, but that might be the best team I've seen so far. And your defence has Liverpool. Oh, Jesus Christ. 1 free transfer, what would I do? You've literally got nothing to do. The only thing I can think of is maybe if KDB's leaked to be on the bench, you could sell him. Or you sell Konsa. I don't know what your bench looks like other than Rogers. I would probably just make a backup defender transfer or something like that. Maybe bench Konsa and like if you do like Saliba to White and bench Konsa or something like that, mate, would be an option. Every time my phone lights up, I'm like, have I got any news? Mark says, Even Ilson/Bowen/Rogers or Marmoush, Saka, Diaz. Oh, mate, that's so close. Oh, so Even Ilson, Bowen, Rogers or Marmoush, Saka, Diaz -4. Considering the hit, I would say Even Ilson, Bowen, Rogers. If it was an equal battle, maybe I'd go Marmoush, Saka, Diaz. But I think in terms of secure minutes, actually, yeah, I would go Even Ilson, Bowen, Rogers. Luke said, KDB Milenkovic to Saka Kivior or Diaz/White, 2 free transfers. Saka Kivior. Paolo says KDB to Diaz and Mateta to Even Ilson or Welbeck. Perfect. I would just about lean Even Ilson. If you're chasing, though, I slightly prefer Welbeck. Because he's just going to be lower owned, isn't he? But if I was ignoring ownership, I would probably rather have Even Ilson this week. Salah to Diaz, Cunha to Haaland, -4, desperate punt. If it's a desperate punt, yeah, Salah to Diaz and Cunha to Haaland. But if you're buying Diaz, it's because you think Liverpool do well. And if Liverpool do well, Salah's going to be involved in that. But yeah, if you're really chasing Diaz and Haaland for Salah and Cunha is nice. Julian said, you missed my bigger super chat. Let me find it, Julian. Found it, Julian. Sorry about that, my friend. 10 points behind first, 57 points ahead of third. Okay, 10 points behind. Okay, so you're in second looks secure then. I have Raya. Okay, I've got your team. 1 free transfer. Who do I transfer in and who to captain? I think Sarr coming out makes the most sense there. I would captain... Oh, Mateta probably, actually. I would take out Mateta for Even Ilson and captain probably Even Ilson or Salah. If you want to chase a little bit more, captain Even Ilson. If you want to play protective, captain Salah. But yeah, I think Mateta to Even Ilson makes the most sense, Julian. Rory says, hi, Ross. Thanks for all the great content. You're more than welcome. Can do Palmer to Saka for free, but would have to play Van Dijk. That's fine. Or could do a -4 to do Vardy to Even Ilson. I'd probably do the -4, yeah. Yeah, maybe Palmer to Saka, Vardy, Even Ilson for a -4. Team would look very good after that, Rory, having Saka and Even Ilson in there. Rio says, I have Marino. What are your thoughts? Sell/bench. I reckon Marino could start this. Wouldn't be surprised if Marino starts. He might start in midfield, but you don't have to sell. If you want to bench him, fine. I would even be tempted to start. Maybe we'll get a leak on Arsenal in the next hour, 10 minutes, but yeah. Tim Wong says, do you take a -4 if you are 15 points ahead? So it'd go down to 11 points. It depends what the -4 is for. I have Saliba and Murphy / Marlon and Marmoush that I could replace for White, even Ilson, Luis Diaz. Yeah, do you know what? I would probably do that. You're getting big upgrades there, Tim. It was going to benefit your team. You're still 11 points ahead. I think that's fine. Where I don't like taking -4s is people are, should I take a -4 to block in my mini league? And they're only like 6 points ahead. And I'm like, you're then basically equal. It's just not worth blocking when it's that close. But 15 points it probably is. Ayash says Haaland and midfielder to even Ilson and Salah, or mid to Semenyo. It depends how much you're chasing. If you're chasing, buying Salah does nothing for you. I'd keep Haaland. If you're not chasing, then yes. It really depends in these situations what you need. Like if you're going to ask me a question, try and give me a bit idea about like what you need to achieve in your mini leagues or in your rank. Crenidal says, in a cup league, rival may captain Saka. I will triple captain Salah. In case Salah blanks and Saka does well, should I bring in Martinelli to balance? Saka doing well and having Martinelli, they have no correlation. Martinelli might not start. It might be that Saka scores with an Odegaard assist. Like Martinelli and Saka aren't related here at all. So I would ignore his Saka and just do what you think's best. But yeah, triple captain Salah could do really well this week. Rage LYNSB says, don't have any Arsenal players. Which 3 would be the best? Have 3 free transfers. Also, who to triple captain? Triple captain Salah if you're not chasing. If you're chasing, I would go Saka, Bowen, or even Ilson. I've got a captaincy ranking in the top left. 3 best Arsenal players, fresh. Ben White, Bukayo Saka, and then one of Kivior, Calafiori, or Raya. I would go double Arsenal defence and Saka if I was only in 3 Arsenal. Callum Buck says Munoz to Kirkes or KDB to Saka, presuming no news. KDB to Saka. Hey Ross, just sent my team. What do you think? Where did you send it, Webslinger? I can't see it. If you DM'd it to me, I can't do that on a stream because it sets a bad precedent and then everyone starts DMing me their teams. But I can't see your team anywhere, sorry. Andreas says, hi Ross, thanks for the content. You're more than welcome, Andreas. Raya, Byrne, Gvardiol, Konsa, and Burmo, Salah, Saka, Rogers, Isak, Wissa, and even Ilson. Great team. 10 points from 100k. Salah / Saka cap. 10 points. I think your team will do it anyway, but I would still captain Saka because I don't think there's much between Saka and Salah, and to get 10 points, you do need a good week. So I would probably captain Saka in that case, Andreas. But obviously, you then run the risk of dropping to like 140k if it goes wrong. Zodiac says, I need to gain 5 points on Frosty. I've already seen Frosty's transfers. I won't say what they are because I feel like that's unfair, but he's gone for it. Will says, 1 free transfer on Isak to even Ilson or KDB to Saka or Bowen. I think I probably slightly prefer KDB to Saka, Will. I think your defence is fine. Gvardiol, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Agbadou is not horrid. I wouldn't take a -4. I think you either make the defender move and don't make an attacking move or just do KDB to Saka, Will. Dave Robinson, thank you as always. Have 2 free transfers, 3.8 in the bank. Okay, give me your team. So, would you like Sar to Bowen? Second transfer starters. Look forward to next week, you and Pickle. Thank you very much, mate. Look forward to next. Oh, not next week. I was like, what are we doing next week? Just as next. Sar to Bowen's good. Second transfer. Defense looks fine. You don't need a defender transfer. You've got even Ilson. There's not a massive... You've got Saka. I don't see a standout transfer date. Maybe Marmoush to Welbeck. Sar to Bowen, Marmoush to Welbeck, maybe. But I don't think you need it desperately. SH, Ross, I'm 28 points ahead, but I want to take a -4/-8. Is it worth it? Yeah, I think you're fine, because then you're still 20 points ahead, right? Saliba to Share, Aaron Wan-Bissaka to White, and then maybe Isak to Welbeck. No, because the Aaron Wan-Bissaka to Ben White is just not necessary. I would do Saliba to one of Fabian Schär or White, and then Isak to Welbeck is fine as well. I don't think you need to do Wan-Bissaka to White or Schär. That extra transfer just isn't necessary. Wan-Bissaka's fine for this week. Daniel Mitchell says, hi Ross, thank you for the content this year. You're more than welcome. I'm 7 points ahead in my mini league. Should I take a -4 to get Saka/Welbeck and block second place? Again, that's one of those where you take a -4, you're now only 3 points ahead and you're just blocking them. So you've lost 2 potential places to make up the points. I wonder, could you just get Welbeck in and not go for Saka and hope that Saka blanks? Tiger Prawn King says, need to make up 12 points for top 100k. Okay, that's possible. Got 6.6 million in the bank, so can go anywhere bar Liverpool. Suggestion on differentials. I think it's a Brighton attacker. Gruder, Minte, Welbeck. It could be Kudus. It could be Even Ilson's not going to be massively highly owned, I suppose. Khalid says 5 points behind second, 25 points behind first, -4 for Cunha to Welbeck. Yeah, I don't mind that. I do think there's a chance Cunha starts, by the way, in which case he might be a nice differential anyway. Ben says, nice suit. Thank you very much, Ben. I appreciate it. The jacket's probably going to come off at some point. Need just 4 points for the top 10k. If no news, which option? Saliba to White and bench Nico Williams. Palmer to Saka. Isak or Wissa to even Ilson. Probably Palmer to Saka, then Saliba to White, then Isak to even Ilson. If I was going to rank your options there, Ben. Toby Gallant says 747th overall, defending top 1k. Fair play, Toby. I hope you do it. What is your opinion? Good luck on top 10k. Thank you very much. What would I do if I was in your position? Defense looks fine. You could upgrade, I suppose, but I don't necessarily think you need one there. Midfield looks good. Maybe Cunha to even Ilson. Cunha to even Ilson, probably. Your other option, of course, is to... You can't get there, can you? I think Cunha to even Ilson stands out for me there when I look at your teammate. And then I would probably bench one of Eze or Rodgers. I'd probably bench... If you want to defend top 1k, I'd probably bench Eze and start Rodgers. You're right there.
Sorry, it's because the sink's in use in
Okay. Matty, Sar to Erdegaard / Bowen. I don't love the Erdegaard punt. I think Sar to Bowen's nice. Wood to even Ilson -4. Again, I've said this a couple of times on this stream. I probably wouldn't take a -4 to do Wood to even Ilson. Not because I don't think even Ilson's better, but you need Wood to blank and even Ilson to get like 9 points to even just barely pay the hit back. Assuming that Wood scores, let's say he gets a goal, you need even Ilson to get like 15 plus points. So I just don't think it's worth it, personally. Julian says, Kivior, Bradley, Gvardiol, Konsa, Munoz. Which three? Kivior definitely, Gvardiol definitely, and then one of Bradley or Konsa. I would go Bradley, personally, but I've got a good feeling about Bradley, which probably won't actually materialise. But if we get, again, I think there's a small chance we get a leak about Trent. That would be very useful. Sticky Bandit says, Saliba to Burn, Eze to Saka -4. Yeah, bench Konsa or Diaz. I'd probably bench Ruben Diaz. I'd start Konsa. Yeah, I like that. I like that, Sticky Bandit. Smith Boy, 1991. Did you miss my previous super chat, mate? That happens sometimes. I have been prone to doing that. No, I answered it. I have Eze on the bench, Salah, Bowen, one free transfer. Eze to Saka or Wood to Watkins. Thanks, mate. I answered that one. Eze to Saka. If you did another one, it's not there, mate. But if it was that one, then I did it. Like you, I'm 13k chasing 10k. Okay, we're in this together. Start Diaz over Gvardiol. I mean, that is the sort of place you could differentiate, I suppose. But there's no good reason to do that. Like, Gvardiol's just better. Rodgers to Bowen and even Ilson cap thoughts. Yeah, it's all quite high upside, mate. I mean, you're taking a couple of risks there. I don't know if you need to take all of those risks. But yeah, I like even Ilson cap. I think Diaz over Gvardiol is the sort of thing that could work out in a single week. So yeah, I like it. Rodgers to Bowen's good as well, Richard. I don't hate any of those moves. Mo says, choose the best cap. Diaz, Welbeck, or even Ilson. Even Ilson. Liam says, thanks for everything this year. Cheers, Liam. Same team as yours, except no Bowen. One free transfer, 2.1 in the bank, chasing 20 points. Isak to even Ilson and Murphy to Bowen or something else. So you'd be chasing 24 points at that point. I would be tempted to just do Murphy to Bowen if you can afford it. I don't think you can actually, can you? No, you can't. Yeah, I'd be tempted to do that, mate. Isak and Murphy out as part of a -4 hit, though. Actually, I don't like that. Like, I've got Newcastle winning 4-0. I think Newcastle batter Everton. I don't love Isak and Murphy out for a -4 hit when I think about that, Liam. What else could you do? Maybe just Isak to even Ilson. I don't know if the Murphy to Bowen for a hit's worth it. Or just do Murphy to like a different midfielder, like Semenyo. It's a difficult one, Liam. Like, I can understand why. I don't love a -4 to take up two good assets like that. Zaryab, 7 points ahead of second in my mini league. Okay. Isak and Palmer to Welbeck and Salah for a hit. Sorry, I'm struggling to focus, chat. 7 points ahead of second in my mini league. Isak and Palmer to Welbeck and Salah for a hit. 7 points ahead. So you're down to 3 points. You're losing at Isak, Palmer, gaining Welbeck and Salah. Should I go Bowen instead of Salah to differentiate? I need to see your mini league rivals teams, guys. It's so difficult for me to say. Because if your mini league rival has a better team, then yeah, you probably need to differentiate. If your team's better, I like the idea of covering Salah. I think in isolation, Salah's better than Bowen, so I would go for the Welbeck and Salah option. Matt says KDB, Mateta, Sarr to Saka, Welbeck, Bowen -4 or keep KDB. So KDB to Saka for a hit, basically. I would only do that if we get a leak that KDB doesn't start. Otherwise, Mateta and Sarr to Welbeck, Bowen is more than enough. Yeah. I think I'd need a leak that KDB doesn't start for me to want to take that -4.
Someone just said he doesn't, but it was someone in my comments.
Oh, okay. I'll keep an eye on it. Jay, top of my mini league by 128 points with 34k rank. Well done, Jay. That's brilliant. Last push towards 25k. Thinking of transferring KDB and Saka and Mateta and Even Ilson for a -4. So KDB to Saka, Mateta to Even. Again, I would do Mateta with Even Ilson. Mateta to Even Ilson, easy peasy. I'd get it done. KDB to Saka for a hit, I would only do if KDB's leaked to not start. If that is the case, then great. Easy transfer.
FPL reliable.
Lazy FPL?
Yeah.
Yeah?
KDB's benched.
Oh, sorry.
Move is made for me.
Oh, sorry, chat. Sorry, I was looking at the super chats at that point.
Yeah.
God, they've got that nice and early. Look at that, chat. Send some love to Lazy FPL. Bloody hell. Oh. Yeah. KDB doesn't start.
Move is made for me then.
I would still wait, right? Stuff can change ahead of the deadline. I wouldn't move now. Because let's say, for example, we get a leak that Saka doesn't start and your move is KDB to Saka. Like, there's no point making the move now. Still wait for the next 45 minutes. But yeah, KDB does not start. I'll add that to the chat briefly now. KDB does not start according to at Lazy FPL. Okay, so sell KDB then. I mean, those of you that have KDB have just gotten so lucky. You've just gotten the best easy transfer. KDB to Bowen or Saka, sail off into the sunset, be very, very happy. Right, I'll get back to answering these. Sorry, guys. Sorry if you sent a super chat. I'm getting to them. Right, bang. Where was I? FPL Pricey, my friend. Hey, mate, just wanted to share my appreciation for all your hard work this season. Hope you and Pickle enjoy the break. Here's a little contribution towards toasting the season. Mate, you did not have to do that. Congratulations on a great season yourself, and thank you, by the way, for being a fantastic guest on FPL Therapy twice.
My favourite episode, actually, was the first.
There you go, Pricey. If you're still listening, FPL Pickles, one of her favourite was the first. She was actually the one that said you should get Pricey back on. So there we go. If you impress FPL Pickle, then you impress me as well. Web Slinger. Sorry, Ross. Here it is. No worries, my friend. Bench boost active. Okay, your team. Goalkeepers sorted. Defence, brilliant. Don't need to make a transfer there. Midfield. Honestly, mate, you don't need a transfer. How many transfers did you say you had? I've got to now try and find your previous message. Damn. What do you think? I mean, yeah, good. I'm assuming you've already made your transfers, mate. If not, KDB, obviously. It's just been leaked to not start. So if you've got in fact, even if you don't have a transfer, KDB to Bowen or Saka needs to take place now, Webslinger. Claim Your Own says, hey, Ross, I have a dilemma on my defence. Do I start Bradley, Gvardiol, and Burn? I have 8 Nuri and Kukurea. I would probably start Gvardiol, 8 Nuri and Burn, and bench Bradley and Kukurea. I don't think you need to take a risk with Bradley when you've got 8 Nuri, Burn, and Gvardiol. Alanga's fine. Yeah, you can start Alanga. But I would probably bench Bradley there. It's not a risk you need to take. Like, for me, if I don't make a defender transfer, it's Bradley or Munoz, so it's slightly weaker. If you've just joined, we have just got news that De Bruyne is on the bench. Well, not actually, he didn't say on the bench. He said De Bruyne doesn't start. De Bruyne might not have been in the squad, I don't know. But De Bruyne doesn't start. Will you be watching the Monaco Grand Prix during the stream? Sadly not. Because it's before the deadline. I can't really afford to be watching the Monaco Grand Prix. I'm sad, though. I want to watch it. Any news on Cliver? Literally the only early team news we've got so far. There are rumours circulating that Isak starts, but not confirmed. And, oh my God, I'm so far behind on Super Chats. And KDB doesn't start. KDB doesn't start. Rumours about Isak, but nothing confirmed on Isak. The only confirmation we've got is KDB. Assad Mexican says, 25 points behind my league leader. I have triple captain and 1 free transfer. Can I do it? Absolutely. Definitely possible. I have Salah, Bowen, and Burmo, Rogers, Sarr, Wood, Marmoush, and Watkins. I would probably advise that you triple captain against someone that your mini league rival doesn't have. So I would probably Like, you could even do something like Marmoush to Evanilson. Actually, Marmoush will be on set pieces if KDB doesn't start. I would keep Marmoush now, guys. Sar to Semenyo. And then bench Wood or Rogers. I mean, it's not great, is it? I would triple captain Mbermo, probably, or Bowen. I wouldn't triple captain Salah, because I reckon your mini league rival probably captain Salah. Osgun says, protecting an 8-point lead. Marmoush, Isak, and Wood for me. My chaser has Marmoush, Watkins, and Wissa. What do I do? Marmoush, Isak, and Wood. My chaser has Marmoush, Watkins, Wissa. Oh, so Marmoush. So it's Isak and Wood versus Watkins and Wissa. I think you're fine. I think if we get a leak that Isak's not starting, then Isak to Evanilson. Otherwise, I think your front line is just as good. I don't think it's much weaker. Isak and Wood versus Watkins and Wissa is very close, mate. Matty says, got to sell Wood to get rid of Sar. Or which mid for 7 million? I'm confused, Matty. I'm really sorry. Which mid for up to 7 million? It's probably Semenyo is the standout. Or Minte of Brighton. If you want to sell Wood to Evanilson and Sar up to Bowen or Luis Diaz also works. I feel like people's questions are getting less and less clear. Try and give me as much info as you can. Need advice / ideas. Chasing only 2 points. Sells Gvardia. Okay, I've got your team. 2 free transfers, 0.6 million. Chasing 2 points. Well, KDB's just been leaked to not start. So KDB to Saka. If you need funds for that, you could do... Actually, yeah. Mateta to Evanilson, KDB to Saka is about as easy as 2 transfers can get, mate. And then you'd probably have to bench Morgan Rogers. There you go, Bendy. KDB to Saka. Mateta to Evanilson. If you're just joining the stream now, welcome. Please make sure to like and make sure to subscribe. We've got a leak that KDB doesn't start. That's all we've got so far. Thanks for this season, Ross. Diaz or Bowen? In a straight shootout, it is still Jared Bowen, but I like Luis Diaz. Tom says, Bradley over Gvardiol? No, not for me. Also playing Masters and Conts about have Raya on the bench. Again, I would prefer to start Raya over... If you're asking me, Raya is better than Martinez and Gvardiol is better than Bradley. I would be tempted to even bench Consa, but I guess you don't want to bench both Villa players. 25k rank, Captain Salah and Vardy to Welbeck or Evanilson have Isak. Yeah, I prefer Evanilson to Welbeck, but I think Welbeck's equally a good option. -4, Evanilson / Saka or Bowen for Watkins / Eze or KDB. -4 for Evanilson / Saka or Bowen for Watkins, Eze or KDB. Well, definitely KDB you sell now. So basically, Evanilson and Saka for Watkins and KDB for a hit. I don't know about selling Watkins. Can you just do KDB to Saka and leave it there? I would just do KDB to Saka if you can afford it, G. Darren Baker with the very generous super chat. Thanks, Darren. Hi, Ross. Big thanks for the quote content. You're more than welcome. Who to bench? Kivior, Livramento, Consa, Gvardiol, Munoz, Bowen, Mbermo, Saka, Salah, Rogers, Wissa, Watkins, Evanilson. Wow. Great rank, by the way, mate. And well done for winning your mini league. I think you bench Consa and Munoz in your defense. And in your attack, I think you have to bench Morgan Rogers there. I just don't see another player you can bench. So yeah, Morgan Rogers, Consa, and Munoz. I think that's the way you have to go, Darren. It's a very difficult benching decision, though. 2 free transfers. Isak and Sar to Diaz and Wissa. Rival as KDB and Haaland. I don't love selling Isak, but yeah, Diaz and Wissa are really nice. Can you not just do Sar to a different midfielder? I'd probably feel more comfortable doing that. And then use your transfer elsewhere. Or if you can get to Evanilson and Bowen. Evanilson and Bowen's much better than Diaz and Wissa. I don't hate Diaz and Wissa, though, Mohit. Andre says, start 2 of Wan-Bissaka, Kilman, Munoz, or take a -4. I would start Wan-Bissaka and Munoz, probably. Start the 2 attacking players. Cancelled says, hey, Ross, thank you for the content. 750th overall and 10 points ahead in my mini-league. Fair play for the rank. Great job. Okay, I've got your team. Wissa and... Wait. Mateta to Evanilson and Rogers first. Yeah, Mateta to Evanilson, Rogers first sub stands out, mate. Solid midfield. You've got most of the players covered. Saka, Bowen. You don't have the KDB issue. Mateta to Evanilson. Bish, bash, bosh. Done. I'm so jealous of KDB owners.
Oh, God. Give over.
No, it's just nice that you don't have to stress. You just have the transfer made for you. Sar to Bowen worth a -4. Would bench Rogers. So is Bowen 4 points better than Rogers? I don't think so. I just play Rogers. Well, not that I don't think so necessarily, but I don't know that I'd take that risk. I'd probably just play Rogers.
I still don't know whether to bench Marmoush or not now. This thing on.
Yeah. Put out a poll.
I have already done this.
If no news, Isak to Evanilson and Savinho to Saka / Bowen. Isak to even Olsen, Savinio to Saka, just Bowen. If that's for free, oh no, yeah, 2 free transfers, yeah. Or keep Isak and go Savinio to Bowen, Canate to Livramento. I'd be very tempted by that, actually. Yeah, I'd be very tempted by the 2 free transfers being used on Livramento and Bowen. I like that. Chasing 11 points for top 10k. Isak could become a differential. Listen, Greg, if we don't get a leak and you're not feeling confident, then just sell Isak. But if we get a leak or you just want to risk it, if Isak starts, he could be really nice. Mateta to cap even Ilson. Yeah, I like that. Would you do a -4 for KDB to Bowen? Yes, I'd make both of those moves. I'm happy with that. Isak to even Ilson, Murphy to Martinelli for a -4, or just the first one? I wouldn't do Murphy to Martinelli for a -4. I think Murphy's fine this week. Jay says, KDB replace if you can't afford Saka. I have Bowen. Luis Diaz if you can't afford Saka. -8 on bench boost to field 15 and Sar to Bowen or -4. I'm so confused. I don't mind taking a -8 if it allows you to get 15 players. That's what you're asking. Sar to Bowen for a -4 feels okay if you have to have... Oh, I guess you're on a bench boost. So yeah, I don't mind that. Luke says, hey Ross, here's a massive thank you. 2k rank and first in my country with a 9-point lead. If you're ever in Malta, do message me sometime. Have a nice break. I'll bear that in mind, Luke. That must be an amazing feeling to be first in your country. I hope you managed to hang on to that. I really do. And yeah, if I'm ever in Malta, I'll let you know. Okay, he's now sending one by one the players that are arriving. Martin Dubravka is the first to arrive. I will let you know if Isak arrives. I've got my phone left open on WhatsApp, and I'll let you know if we see anything. Have Saliba and Jacob Murphy. Okay, transfer Saliba to Wan-Bissaka and Murphy to Rice or Martinelli, or Saliba to Kivior and keep Murphy. Saliba to Kivior and keep Murphy, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Murphy's a great option this week. Even if he plays right wing back, he's been very good. Adnan Khan says, Haaland and Eze out to Salah to Evanilson. I mean, Salah and Evanilson, I assume. Haaland and Eze to Salah and Evanilson. Only if you are protecting, Adnan. Because if you're chasing rank, buying Salah and Evanilson for Haaland and Eze doesn't work. If you're chasing Haaland and Eze, if you're protecting Salah and Evanilson. Thomas, hi Ross, thanks for everything this year. You're more than welcome, Thomas. Thanks for the support. Top 12k, 8 points behind in my mini league, 1 free transfer, 1.5 in the bank. Okay, 8 points behind. Great rank, by the way. I have an identical attack of Salah, Mbermo, Bowen, Rogers, Sari, Isak, Watkins, Wisser. Captain Bowen, any other differential move thoughts? I assume your mini league rival might be slightly tempted to sell Isak to even Ilson, so you could do Isak to Welbeck or just keep Isak. Other differential options. I don't think you can really afford to sell any of your other players. Doesn't make sense. You could do Sar to like a Brighton midfielder, like Minte, or Sar to Semenyo, and then bench Rogers. So I think captaining Bowen and maybe benching Rogers and selling Sar, they're your 2 places you can differentiate, Thomas. Other than that, I think you just got to hope that your defence outscores his defence, basically. Here for FPL says 5 points off 100k and really want it. Okay, I have 3 options. KDB to Bowen, 1. Isak and KDB to even Ilson and Bowen -4, 2. And option 3, KDB and Sar to Bowen. Okay, easy. KDB to Bowen. Done. Keep it easy, mate. You don't need to push it. You don't need to push it. Sold Salah some weeks ago. Should I do a -8 to get him in? Oh. Really worried of all of the captaincy polls on Salah. Would be Saliba, Eze, Isak, Mateta to Bradley, Salah, even Ilson, Welbeck. I don't think so, mate. Unless you are super protecting and the -8 doesn't... Like, let's say you're protecting top 100k and you're 15 points inside, then yeah, maybe a -8 to protect is fine. Unless you are really protecting, I would just go without Salah. And you could do something fun. Mateta to Welbeck is already fun, right? Eze to a decent midfielder and Mateta to Welbeck is also fun. Like, there are fun moves that you can make with your 2 free transfers without having to take a -8. I wouldn't do the -8. Rogers to Bowen / Marmoush to even Ilson, 11 off 5k with triple captain. I don't love Rogers to Bowen unless it's for free. Even Marmoush to even Ilson. If they're both for free, yes. If it's for a hit, just do one of them. He's going to literally leak like every 5 minutes. He's going to send one player arriving. PJ with a really generous super chat. Thank you, PJ. Everyone that does a generous super chat puts you in it, by the way. Hey, Ross and Pickle. Thank you so much for your content. Having my best ever FPL due to it. 1 point ahead of you. Aim is top 10k. Well, I hope sincerely that we both get top 10k, PJ, but I hope you also do it as well as me. But I would like to do it too. Listen, you can beat me as long as I also sneak in the top 10k. 2 free transfers, 2.8 million in the bank. What would be your suggestions? Okay, bench looks solid. Defense looks really good. Midfield looks good. Oh, mate, you're probably going to do it. Your team's looking really nice. It's actually not too far off mine, is it? You've just got a slightly better defense. The only move, I think, which makes a little bit of sense... You've got 2 free transfers as well, mate. Wait on leaks. I think Isak to either Nilsson or Welbeck is an option. I guess Rodgers or Eze to a slightly spicier midfielder, a slightly more differential mid is an option as well, mate. There's really not a ton. You've basically got a better team than me and an extra free transfer, PJ. Your defense is great. You've got Kivior and Livramento. You'll get top 10k, mate. You'll get top 10k. I'm convinced of it. Don't force it. If you can't find a way to use your 2 free transfers, don't. I think wait for a leak on Isak and adjust accordingly from there. Maybe bringing in a differential midfielder for Eze is an option. Marcus with the super chat. Thank you, Mark. By the way, thank you again, PJ. Marcus is last one, I promise. I think you said that last time, Marcus. Who to start, who to bench? Okay, I've got your team. I wouldn't bench Livramento, you know. I'd be tempted to start Livramento ahead of Guardiola, you know. I genuinely would. Yeah, he's got White, Burn, Guardiola, and Livramento. I think you've got your attacking bench and your keeper, right? Livramento, I wouldn't feel comfortable on the bench. I would be super tempted between Guardiola and Livramento for me, or Dan Burn. I guess you could bench Dan Burn, but I really think Dan Burn could get a heading chance. You might have got it right. You might be best to just diversify a little bit, because if Everton score, then you don't want a double clean sheet wipeout. I think that's very close, Marcus, but I think you've generally got it pretty good. Any Isak news? Nothing on Isak yet. Leaked FPL says Isak starts. Leaked FPL got blocked by me about 14 months ago, and in that time continues to guess and get stuff wrong. So, sorry. Oh no, it's Krath. He put a bloody Swedish flag and he put a Swedish flag as arrived, and it was bloody Emil Krath. What a bastard. Boarding Fraud says, thanks for... That's such a funny name for me. But thanks for helping me to 20 points ahead in my mini-league. See you next season. Thank you very much, my friend. And you're more than welcome. Leading my mini-league by 15 points. Opponent has triple captain and Salah. Should I get a -4 and get Salah? Yeah, do you know what? You probably are. If he's got triple captain and Salah and you don't, he's going to triple cap Salah. I would probably block and get Salah, yeah, for a -4. 3k rank. Eva Nilsson. Okay, I've got your team. Who to start? Help. 1 transfer. I would bench probably Morgan Rogers, and in your defense, I would probably bench Saliba. You've only given me 4 defenders, mate, and you've not given me your other goalkeeper. So Rogers and Saliba. 1 transfer. I think you're probably Saliba to Ben White, and then bench one of Bradley or Munoz. I would make a defender transfer basically, but 3k rank is fantastic. Marmoush and Guardiola start. According to who? Sorry, guys. I'm a little bit behind on the super chats. I'm really trying here. There will be a point where I probably say just stop doing it, because I'm going to just not be able to do it before the deadline. Ted from R&D says, hi, Ross. Started watching this year. Thank you very much, Ted. I'm lost. 1 free transfer, 6.3 in the bank, and 2 points behind in my mini-league. Okay. Bench/transfer 2. Alanga, Rogers, Eze. See you next season. See you next season. So you got 1 free transfer. So I would bench Eze. Sorry, I would start Eze, bench Rogers, sell Alanga. So if I were to order them, I would say Eze, Rogers, Alanga in that order, Ted. Is it worth taking a -4 to make up 17 points? It depends who's it for. It depends how different your teams are. It's impossible to say, Jacob. But in all honesty, 17 or 21, it's a lot of points. If the -4 helps you, then yes. Chasing 15 points by mini-league. Should I play Palmer? Palmer's the sort of player, I think it's a low-scoring game. If Palmer scores one of the only goals in the game, he could get 10 or 11 points. So yeah, I don't hate keeping Palmer. Start 3. 8 Nuri, Livramento, Kivior, Nico Williams, Collins. The first 3. 8 Nuri, Livramento, Kivior. Skreza says, KDB benched. Start Rogers or -4 for Saka or Bowen. I would just start Rogers, probably. Start Cunha or Murphy. Just about Cunha. But in fact, because I think I said this to someone else, but because the minutes are a doubt for Cunha, maybe you start Murphy. If you're one of the 6,000 people watching that is not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I know it's the end of the season, but so much planned for pre-season. And if you don't want to subscribe, just smash that like button. Dylan Thorpe says 3 free transfers, bench boost active, chasing 20 points in my mini league. Okay. Diaz, Murphy, Munoz to Saka, Roger/Minte, Kivior, or Salah, Murphy, Munoz to Saka, Bowen, White. Thanks, Ross. If you're chasing 20 points and that's all you care about, I'd be very tempted by the one selling Salah. Just because that's the way to make up points, is to just go really different. But in isolation, no, actually, I don't want to sell Diaz Murphy. I genuinely think I prefer slightly the Salah option, you know. Probably slightly the Salah option. But only if that is all you care about. If you also care about rank, then go for the first option, Dylan. Craig Hope says the Swede has arrived. It was Emil Kraft, who's also Swedish. It wasn't it wasn't Isak. I'm keeping an eye on that though, by the way. Marmouche starts. According to Lazy FPL. Marmouche starts. Okay? I'll add that to the pinned chat. KDB benched, Marmouche starts according to lazy FPL.
What does that mean?
What does what mean?
In terms of positioning and whatnot?
Nothing. Probably Marmouche off the left or right, playing around in and around Haaland. It means Marmouche will be on set pieces because KDB's not playing. Right. Starsky B says, hey, mate, thanks for the vibes this year. Trying to protect top 25k rank. Good luck. Saliba to White for double Arsenal defence or to share no other Newcastle defence. Mate, I think that's a 50-50, honestly. I would still lean White because I think chances for a clean sheet is probably still slightly better, but I think Newcastle will do very well. I think Share and White are the best two defenders. I would still lean marginally Ben White. But if you want to spread the risk a little bit, just to make sure you get some points, maybe go Fabian Schär. I'd be surprised if both teams concede, you know? Khan, 1.1 in the bank, 1 free transfer, bench boost. Okay. Any moves, 40 points ahead in my mini league. Anything that stands out immediately with your 1 free transfer? Not really, mate. Not really. I mean, Mikalenko's not fantastic, is he? Maybe Mikalenko to Livramento, or Mikalenko to Kivior or something like that. Like the only thing I think he's the only player there that stands out as not being that fantastic. Sebastian Bird says 9k overall, 50 points clear my mini league. Well done, Sebastian. Good job. 1 and 27 in mini league 2. Okay, so you're good. Same team apart from Saliba/Rogers for Burn Murphy. Okay, so you're in a great position. 1 transfer in hand, 1 million in the bank. Thinking of Isak to Evan-Ilson. Bench Bradley, Munoz, Sarr. Any thoughts? I only like Isak to Evan-Ilson if Isak doesn't start. Because if Isak starts, I think he's great. So only if we get a leak or you're of the opinion Isak doesn't start. 1 point off the top 50k in my mini league. 200 points clear. Happy with my defence. I have Bowen, Salah, Rogers, Eze, and Burmo. Then Watkins, Isak, Marmouche. 2 free transfers. What do I do? 1 point off top 50k. Okay. Happy with defence. I mean, in your attack, then your only real option is Isak to Evan-Ilson or Welbeck, and then one of Rogers or Eze to a different midfielder, but I don't love that. I honestly don't think you've got tons of transfers. If you're in a position where you've got transfers to make, but you like your team, I wouldn't force it. Imagine forcing Rogers or Eze out just because you've got a transfer and then they end up scoring. I don't love anything there, mate, honestly. Maybe Isak to Evan-Ilson or Welbeck. Hang on. Have we finally got... Well, Isak's with the squad. That is... Oh, that's Isak travelling. Okay, Isak's with the squad. I don't know if he's in the squad, by the way. He could very well travel with the squad and not be in the squad just because Eddie Howe wants him there with the team. It's the final home game. I'd feel pretty happy then to keep Isak now. Victor B said, I just wanted to say thank you for everything you do for us. No matter how many points you earn or what you wear, you're doing a great job. I'm not going to read out the final bit, Victor, but thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate you. And thanks for all the support this year. Again, everyone that's been on all the streams, I appreciate you. Horea says, hi, Ross. Who should I get in? 1.4 in the bank. I mean, Cunha stands out as being possibly a small concern. Defense isn't perfect. Maybe you do Saliba to Ben White, probably, mate. Saliba to Ben White, Herrera, I would do. Toby D says, fantastic content all season long. Thank you. Thank you, Toby. I appreciate that. Who should I triple captain? One of Salah, Saka, Bowen, or even Ilson. If you're protecting Salah, if you're chasing Saka, Bowen, or even Ilson. Conrad says, KDB to Semenyo, Murphy, Cliver, or Diaz. Probably Luis Diaz. Probably Luis Diaz there. Bench Eze, Rogers, Savinho, and Wissa to even Ilson. Thoughts? Bench Eze, Rogers, Savinho, and Wissa to even Ilson. Thoughts? I would bench Savinho, probably. Wissa to even Ilson, I wouldn't do. I'd bench Savinho. Hi, Ross. Love the content. Chasing 1 point. Sorry, this is Furkan's message. Chasing 1 point, 25 points behind. Chasing first, 25 points behind. 3 free transfers and nothing in the bank. Okay. Planning Isak to even Ilson, Sarr to Bowen, and Kilman to Bradley. I wouldn't buy Bradley, personally. I think Kilman's fine. But definitely Isak to even Ilson, Sarr to Bowen's upside chasing. I don't mind those. Especially with 3 free transfers, you've got nothing else to do. It's probably not worth the risk of Isak. Just to know again, Isak has travelled with the squad, according to Craig Hope. So with Isak travelling, you'd expect that he could has a good chance of starting. But I like the other moves, Furkan. Averall says, bro, chasing 70 points. I don't think you'll make that up, mate, but good luck. 2 free transfers. Got Diaz in for KDB. Thinking of getting Havertz in and triple captain him. Do you know that Havertz starts? Could it not be Marino, Trossard, or Martinelli as the 9? I don't love the Havertz punt. I just think his minutes will be low. I think I would rather go for like Welbeck or even Ilson triple captain than Havertz. Hey, but if you want to go for Havertz, go for it. I don't want to put you off too much. Said says, hey man, assistant manager second in my mini league, 9 points behind. The leader will bench boost as well. Oh, you are. I don't know where you put am in capitals. I thought it was assistant manager. You're just saying you're second. Sell Wissa to even Ilson or Welbeck. Leader has Wissa and none of the two. If you think your mini league rival won't own either, I would go for even Ilson. If you think there's a chance they buy even Ilson, I would go for Welbeck. You want to differentiate a little bit. Nesgul says, hi Ross, second in my mini league, 11 points behind. Okay, 1.9 in the bank, 1 free transfer. Doku/Sarr to Bowen, or Isak/John Philippe Mateta to even Ilson or Welbeck, or both for a -4. I would do Sarr to Bowen and Mateta to even Ilson or Welbeck. I would do both for a -4. I wouldn't sell Isak. If you've got Mateta, I'd rather sell Mateta. Hatik says, hey Ross, get even Ilson, Saka, and Howson/Burn, or even Ilson, Diaz, and Kirke/Share. I like even Ilson, Saka, and Burn. Even Ilson, Saka, and Burn, Hatik. Good luck with it. Good luck with your big hit. Sumac says, hi Ross, thanks for the content this season. You're welcome, Sumac. KDB to Diaz for a -4. KDB to Diaz for a -4, maybe. If Salah goes for assist, Diaz should get some goals. I kind of agree. It depends who you're starting. Like, if you don't sell KDB to Diaz for a -4, who would you be starting? If you're forced to start KDB, then yeah, it's worth the -4. Yes, Isak has arrived with the squad. That is true. Let me actually update the pinned message. There you go. I'll update the pinned message to say that. So yeah, the news that we've got is KDB bench and Marmoush starts. The other piece of news that we've got is that Isak is with the squad. Now, we don't know that he's in the squad, and I want to make that very clear. He could have just travelled with the squad, which he probably would, considering it's their final home game. But I think the fact that he's with the squad sounds decent. What are we getting now from Craig Hope? Yeah, Craig Hope just uploaded another picture. Definitely Isak with the squad again. Not in the squad, but with the squad. Would you take a -4 for 8 Nuri to Kirkes? Oh, would I take a -4? No, he's correct. No, probably not. Cunha to Welbeck and Rogers to Saka, cap -4. Cunha and Rogers out for a hit, but you get Welbeck and Saka cap. If you think Saka's the best captain, then yes. Ross Fraser says, hi, Ross. 3 points above second. Okay. He has Eze, Cole, Even Ilson, and Wood. 1 free transfer and 3.4 million in the bank. Munoz, Saliba, and Sav to which 9.4? Oh, mate, this is such a confusing message to try and read. Oh, this is so tough. You're asking Munoz and Saliba to Sav. Oh, God. Munoz, Saliba, and Sarr to Sav to which 9.4? I've got no idea what you're asking, Ross. Can you send another message? Reply to the super chat that you sent. I don't need to give me more money, but can you just try and tidy up that message? I'm so sorry. I've got no idea what you're asking. Adnan Khan. That's probably my fault, by the way. My brain's a bit fried. Adnan Khan says KDB and Haaland equals Saka. Oh, my God. Some of these questions are like maths equations for like a bachelor's degree. KDB plus Haaland equals Saka/Salah plus Isak/Even Ilson. Please advise. Oh, okay. No, still don't get it. Adnan, same again, mate. Maybe I've lost my head, but I don't know what that message is asking, my friend. KDB and Haaland equals Saka/Salah plus I don't know, mate. Sorry. George, start that's a better one, George. Start Wan-Bissaka or Konsa. I'd start Wan-Bissaka. Ink, 7 points ahead. -4 to go Haaland to Watkins and Savinho to Salah to protect. Or just Savinho to Luis Diaz. Thanks for this season. Appreciate it, Ink. 7 points ahead. -4 to go Haaland to Watkins and Savinho to Salah to protect. If you're going to captain Salah, yes. If you're not going to captain Salah, maybe just do Savinho to Luis Diaz, mate. But if you're going to cap Salah, it's probably worth it. Thoughts on Gakpo as a differential? Is there a chance Luis Diaz Diogo Jota starts? Maybe. I don't mind Gakpo, but I just don't know how good his minutes will be. Start Konsa or Milenkovic. I'd be very tempted to start Milenkovic, you know. Just so much better in the air, and I think that'll be a cagey game. I'd be very tempted by Milenkovic. Bowen or Saka? If you want to protect rank, I'd go Bowen. I think Saka's still a better option, though. But I think Bowen will be higher owned than Saka. Ross and Adnan, if you reply to your additional message, if you can see it, that's the only way I'll be able to see what you've asked. And sorry again, I can't seem to make sense of them. Hope you get into the top 10k. Should I do KDB and Sarr to Bowen and Luis Diaz? KDB and I quite like that actually. Or KDB and Chris Wood to Saka and Even Ilson. Oh, that's very nice. KDB and Wood to Saka and Even Ilson. Oh, that's a very close one. Oh, do you know what? I think I would do the KDB and Wood one, mate. I like keeping Wood, but that's such a nice combo. Have Wissa and Burmo, Salah, Marmoush and Rogers. 3-5-2 of Bowen, 3-4-3 of Saka. I think I would go for the 3-4-3 Saka, Patrick, just. Play Cunha or Sharda. Oh, that's close. I'd go Cunha. Alex Argo says, thanks for all the great content this year, Ross. Enjoy your summer. Thank you, Alex. Let me try and work out this message again, Ross. So Munoz, Saliba, and Sav to which 9.4? So I guess you're saying you're going to sell Sarr or Savinho to a 9.4 midfielder. If you're looking for midfielders that you don't own, it's Luis Diaz probably, mate, if that was what your question was. That's the best chance I can go. Hey, mate, you missed my super chat. Help. Oh, God, I'm having a mare here, aren't I? Will of its own, where are you? I think I've missed loads, actually. I've missed a few here. Let me go back. I've missed a few. Dan, hi, Ross. Isak to Even Ilson and Sarr to Saka for free. Sorry, Dan, by the way, that I'm so late on your message, mate. Hi, Ross. Isak to Even Ilson and Sarr to Saka for free. I don't hate selling Isak, but I still think I would keep Isak now. But definitely, if it allows you to get Sarr to Saka, it's probably worth it for free. Sending a huge thanks to you, Andy, and Harry for your accumulated advice throughout the season. Currently 1.2k. Best of luck, mate. Best of luck. I really hope you get there. It makes sense considering it's for free and it allows you to get Saka. Mr. Dean says, another great season with you all. That's good to hear, Mr. Dean. First in my mini league, top 30k, 2 free transfers. Sorry about that music outside, by the way. Okay, I've got your team. I mean, it looks good. I think obvious place for a transfer is... Maybe not, actually. It's probably Mateta to Even Ilson. Mr. Dean 1009. I would probably do Mateta to Even Ilson if I had your team. Conrad says, KDB to Semenyo, Murphy, Cliver, or Diaz. I think I went that one. I said Luis Diaz. I think I answered that already. Lando Leeds. Okay, keep me updated in the chat. All right, where was I? Where was I? Adam T says, Liverpool fan. Here, what a day for it. Currently lounging beside a pool in Salah in 24-degree weather with a Jack Daniels and Coke. First in my mini leagues. Thanks for your tips this season. Brilliant work, Adam. Enjoy. What a day for you. What a day. 82 Paul Max says, thank you, Ross, for all the great advice all season, and especially for the hilarious content. Enjoy the off-season. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, mate. Thanks for the support. Okay, I've got you all of it sewn. Hi, Egg and Pickle. As per, much love. I'm 10 points down in my mini league. 2 free transfers, 2 million in the bank. Pope, Areola, Gvardiol, Bern, Milenkovic, Wan-Bissaka, Bowen Alanga, Semenyo and Burma, KDB, Cunha, Haaland, Mateta, help. Yeah, that's easy. KDB to Saka, Mateta to Even Ilson. KDB to Saka, Mateta to Even Ilson, will of its own. Rohan says, 1 free transfer, 0.7 in the bank, chasing 40 points in my mini league. Triple captain active, but confused who to punt on. Okay, chasing 40 points, triple captain active. If you're chasing 40, I would triple captain... I mean, I would do KDB to Saka and triple captain Saka, mate. KDB to Saka, triple captain Saka, Rohan. Hungster says, hi, mate, top 5k at the moment. If Isak starts, Saliba to Wan-Bissaka. I don't know about Wan-Bissaka. I'd probably do Saliba to Cheryl White. Fabian Cheryl White, probably. Also, Eze to Saka for a hit either way. Would bench Rodgers, Bowen Cap. I don't mind it, mate, if you're chasing. Yeah, if you want to make sure you secure that top 5k and you want to take a bit of a risk. But yeah, I think there are better midfielders than Wan-Bissaka. Sorry, better defenders. Maybe famous last words, but that's how I feel. £20 just for the suit and no cap. I will say, by the way, for anyone listening, that wasn't £20 British pounds, but that was like £3 British pounds. But thank you for the support nonetheless, and I appreciate it. Saka or Even Ilson, leading by 12, and he has triple captain. Saka, for me, has the higher upside. Folks Fiction says, thank you, Ross, for the content through this season. I'm ahead of my mini league by 75 points. Cheers, mate. See you next season. See you next season, my friend. Sarr to Semenyo and bench Rodgers, or Saliba to White and bench Konsa. I'm in that exact position myself. I think probably Saliba to White and bench Konsa is where I'm leaning. Who starts, Murphy or Marmoush? Probably Marmoush. I would start. Is Even Ilson worth a -4 to bench Asensio? Probably not. Probably not. Pratik says, chasing rank, KDB and either Marmoush / Isak out. I would probably just sell KDB to Saka. Or, okay, you don't want to do that. KDB to Diaz. I probably wouldn't take the hit, and I would just sell KDB. I'd keep Marmoush and Isak personally. AKU says, since KDB is benched, bench Isak or Rodgers. I'd bench Rodgers and start Isak. Start Isak for sure. Should I take out KDB and Haaland for either Salah or Saka and Even Ilson? I would only do that if you're not chasing. If you're protecting, buy Salah. There is no point buying Salah now if you're chasing points. That's all I will say. Why are you captaining Salah? Bowen's better points lately, or Saka better? I think Salah's got a higher ceiling than Bowen this week, and I want to stick to that. The only reason I would captain Bowen is if I was like 15 points behind top 10k, I'd go for it. I'm only 6 points off, so I want to make the decisions that I think is best for my team. Stan says, I have a 15-point lead, have no Salah, Isak, or Bowen. I have 1 free transfer. Should I get Salah for KDB, Bowen for Eze, and Even Ilson for JMP? So that's a -8, so it will drop you to 7. If after that -8, Stan, your team looks very good in comparison to your rival, then yeah, maybe. Guys, can we, for like the next 5-10 minutes, say no super chats, just because I'm really struggling to catch up, and I want to still answer messages from the main chat. And I'm going to take off my top. It's time. There we go. It is a short sleeve shirt. I'm aware I look like I'm off to school. Or let's say Clark Kent as a slightly nicer comparison. But can you see my armpit sweating? It's hot in that suit. Right, we're back. We're back. Early team news. The only team news that I've seen thus far is that KDB's benched, Marmoush starts, and Isak is with the squad. Not that he's necessarily those muscles. No, I'm not showing the muscles. Top button off. I need to keep the tie on. Anyway, yes, sorry. Isak with the squad. Marmoush starts. KDB bench. That's all I've seen so far. Look like a young Pep, you sexy beast. Thank you. Ash says, hi Ross, thanks for this season. Who should I start? Cunha or Welbeck? Who should I captain? Saka, Salah, or Bowen? I'm chasing. If you're chasing, captain Saka, and I would start Welbeck ahead of Cunha. HGRO says, chasing first in my mini league by 6 points. Same team as you, but with Areola and Kivior. Sorry, I lost that. With Areola and Kivior instead of Raya and Konsa. Okay. What would be your transfers? So you don't need a defender transfer if you've got Kivior. Maybe a goalkeeper transfer is not the end of the world. I think probably sell Sarr to someone and bench Rodgers if you're chasing. That's probably the play. It's something I'm still tempted by as well. I just don't know. Maybe I'll go Fabian Schär to just cover the Newcastle defence. Maybe I shouldn't go for White. Like, I've already got Raya, haven't I? Maybe I should be going for a Newcastle defender to just cover that. Maybe a Newcastle defender by the same logic. But I mean, you've got bloody Kivior. Probably sell Sarr for a decent midfielder, and then you could even keep the midfielder on the bench. Doga says Nico Williams or Munoz to start. I would honestly start Nico Williams personally. Yazid with a very generous super chat that said thank you for everything. Thank you, Yazid. I appreciate that so much. Thank you very much. You're a very kind person. Liz, good to see you, Liz. Hey, Ross, have one free transfer and winning my mini league. Well done. That's good. I'm glad people are winning their mini leagues off the back of the streams and stuff. Okay, I've got your team. Is it worth transferring Marmoush to Eva Nilsson or Eze to Semenyo and then bench Rodgers? I wouldn't do Marmoush. I quite like Marmoush now. I don't mind. I would probably do the Eze to Semenyo and bench Rodgers move. I like Marmoush. On set pieces, good goal threat. -4 for Eva Nilsson to bench Rodgers. No. The thing I would say about Rodgers is he's very highly owned. So I think if you're protecting, start Rodgers. If you're chasing, start Marmoush. It's just a nice simple one there. And that goes for you as well, Pickle. Not that you asked for my advice. I think you're protecting. I'd start Rodgers. Oh, that's a tough one. Originally, you said for me to transfer Mateta and cap Eva Nilsson. Yeah. And sell -4 KDB to Bowen. But now I can afford Saka. Oh, in that case, Julian, I would cap Saka. I'd buy and cap Saka. Yeah, buy and cap Saka, absolutely. Will Cameron says, happy or sad end of Ross. I'm happy now. I'll be sad probably in about 2 hours. Cheers for another good year. Selling KDB for Saka but need 0.9 million. Would you sell Eze for a 5.9 mid or Munoz to fodder? Eze to Murphy or something like that probably. Jamie Arnold has become a Rap Tier 1 member. Thank you, Jamie. Willowbitson has been a member for 3 months. Who to triple captain? Salah if you're protecting, Saka, Bowen, or even Nilsson if you're chasing. I think Saka's my favourite triple captain if you're chasing. But there's a risk that he obviously doesn't get perfect minutes. Rage says, fighting for my mini league win. I have triple captain, they don't. Okay. Do I risk triple captain Bowen or Saka if they captain Salah or triple captain Salah? If you're chasing slightly, triple cap Salah. If you've got to make up more than 10 points, then I would triple captain probably Saka. And good luck with it. Newcastle tweet. What did Newcastle tweet? What, literally Newcastle? Yeah, they tweeted a picture of Isak, but I really don't know if... God, this top doesn't fit me anymore, does it, chat? I think... Is that Mind Games? I think Isak will start now. I think the fact that he's there. You never know fully, but I think that looks good. All right, where was I? Don't see Saka coming off the bench if he doesn't start. Yeah, I think it'd be weird to take Saka. And yeah, exactly. I think you're probably safe captain in Saka. He'll either not be there with the squad, which I think he will be, or he'll just start. It's just like how early does he come off is the only concern, isn't it? Peng says, hey Ross, I have Raya, Kivior, Gvardiol, Konsa, Rodgers, Mbermo, Mo. Okay, I've got your team. 2 free transfers, 2.6 in the bank. What would you do? It's a great team, mate. Mateta to either Nilsson or Welbeck. and maybe Sarr to a Brighton midfielder or a Bournemouth midfielder, and then you could bench Rodgers if you wanted to. But Mateta to even Ilson or Welbeck is the standout transfer, mate. Saka or Mbeumo, who to triple captain? I prefer Saka, but Mbeumo's a fine captain any week. Thanks, love you guys. Have a wonderful break. Cheers, Will. You too. Sell Sarr or Trossard? I'd probably rather sell Sarr and keep Trossard. Ross, right, I've got your new message, Ross. Bench was Munoz, Saliba, Sarr. Would you start any over Cunha or Nico Williams? Okay, so to answer that one, Ross, and don't say sorry, it's my fault anyway, but no, I wouldn't start either of those, probably. Any of those. So I think you've got the benching decision correct. Also, sell Savinho for which 9.4 mid and then start over Sarr or Cunha. If you've got no Bowen, I would go Bowen. If you've got Bowen, I would go Luis Diaz. So Bowen or Luis Diaz, and I would start them ahead of Ismail Assar. Hopefully that helps, Ross. And sorry for not getting your message the first time around. We've got less than 15 minutes. I'll just say now, no more super chats unless you want to risk them not getting answered. I'll still try to answer them, but from this point onwards, because I need to make my own transfer as well, and I've not even thought about it. Tyler says 5 points up, currently starting Murphy, Milenkovic, Raya and Byrne. Okay, 1, buy Diaz and Zabani, start over Milenkovic. Or 2, start Murphy and buy any defender to start over Milenkovic. I would start Murphy and just buy a Kirkez or White. I'd probably go White. I actually like Fabian Schär as well, but I'd go White. FBK says, hi Ross, should I transfer Saliba to White or Wood to even Ilson? Or do both for a -4? Should I transfer Saliba to White or Wood to even Ilson? I prefer Saliba to White, probably. I don't think Wood to even Ilson's worth it. I wouldn't do it for a hit either. Derek says, hi Ross, protecting 0.4 in the bank. KDB to Luis Diaz, free transfer, or Saliba and KDB to Calafiori and Saka. I would do Calafiori and Saka, mate. I think that's a lovely pairing. If you can do White and Saka, I prefer that, obviously. Also, bench start Rodgers Eze. I would start Eze and bench Rodgers myself if I was choosing. Cheers, mate, though. I appreciate the support. Rob says 8.5 in the world, but 14 points behind my mini-league leader. Okay. I have Haaland. By the way, great rank. I have Haaland and KDB while he has Salah. Should I get even Ilson cap and Salah for safety or get Saka instead of Salah and cap him? If you're 14 points behind, this is it. Is top 10k more important or your mini-league? If you want to protect in your top 10k, get Salah. If you want to chase your mini-league, get Saka. I would get in captain Saka if the mini-league's more important. I would get in captain Salah if top 10k is more important. J Mafia says 46k overall rank, 7 points up in my mini-league, 2 free transfers, Cunha to even Ilson, and Eze to Saka. Yeah, I like that. Thoughts? Yeah, I think that's fine. Cunha to even Ilson, Eze to Saka for 2 free transfers, brilliant. You then have to bench. I mean, who on earth are you benching there, though? That's the issue. You're probably then benching Wisser is the only thing. Yeah, you're benching Wisser at that stage, which doesn't feel great. But listen, your team looks great. Hi, Russ. Thank you for all the guidance. Saliba to White, bench Livramento, play White, Gvardiol, Conte. How's that? Saliba to Ben White. I like it. Yeah, I'd make the move. Mahir says, hey, Ross. Okay, I've got your team, Mahir. 3 from KDB, Sarr, Mateta, Savinho, Bradley. KDB and Mateta to Saka, Bowen, and even Ilson for -4. And which of Sarr, Bradley, Savinho to start? I would start Ismail Assar, and I would sell KDB and Mateta to Saka and even Ilson. And I think you can captain Saka or even Ilson. Chat, what am I doing with my team? I have no idea. I've literally not thought about any of it. Diaz leaked to start. Is he?
Yeah.
Guys, again, I've said everyone's super chatting right now. I'm literally struggling to answer them. Who said Diaz starts? Asim. Okay, Luis Diaz starts. If you want to take a punt on Luis Diaz, Asim is quite reliable. Oh, what was his name? Asim. This guy. By the way, this guy has got it wrong before. He's not perfect, but Luis Diaz starts. I would expect him to start anyway. I've been saying for a while he's a really nice punt. So yeah, I think you're safe to make that move. Right, I need to make my transfers. I'll still be answering some of your questions as well. I think I'm gonna go defender. I think I'm gonna go for a defender. And I think it's Fabian Schär or Ben White. Do I want to double up on the Arsenal defence? Let me have a quick look here. One sec. Oh my God, this is not ideal. Why not? Why Share not Livramento? Fabian Scher's just lower owned. Yeah, KDB benched. KDB benched. I think I would bench Konsa. I know that's going to upset people, but I think I'd start Connor Bradley. Unless we get a leak in the next 10 minutes that Trent starts, I think I'll just risk it on Connor Bradley. Because Connor Bradley's lowly owned. Fabian Schär would be lowly owned. These are two players that could give me a rank boost. Can you give my stepdad Chris a shout out, please? Shout out to Chris. Update your pinned. Yeah, I probably should, shouldn't I? Oh, God. What was it? Diaz starts. Asim. You're benching Munoz. I'm going to bench Munoz, yeah, because I'm going to captain Salah. So by that logic, I think Liverpool score a few goals. But Munoz is fine, by the way. If you want to start Munoz, start Munoz. I think I am tempted by Fabian Schär just simply because if Arsenal concede, that's hugely, that would ruin me. I know if they keep a clean sheet on the flip side, it's great. What change are you making? I'm thinking I'm going to make a defender transfer because I quite like my attack. The other option I've got is Ismail Assar to Minte and bench Rodgers. I'm going to run a quick poll. Which do you prefer? Sorry, guys. I've given you 2 hours, 15, 20 minutes of answering all your questions. I'm trying to make my choices now. Sarr to Minte, bench Rodgers. Sarr to Minte, bench Minte. So that would give me bench cover. And then the final option, actually, Saliba to Schär, bench Konsa. Oh my God, I need to make a move. Saliba to White, bench Konsa. Right, I've just run a poll. Can you please help me? Yeah, there's no Saka leak as of yet. No, I will just say there are lots of people on the FPL site right now. It's already looking a little bit laggy. If you know what you want to do, get it done. Not risk it. That's so close, Pickle. If I was choosing, I don't want to ruin your season, but I would start Mamouche. Hey, Ross, last big decision of the season. Start Nico Williams or Connor Bradley? Oh, I love Connor Bradley. I would go Connor Bradley, but I think the smart move is probably Nico Williams, James. Will Minte start? I think so. I don't like any of the midfielders, in all honesty. I think I want to make the defender transfer. I could bench Vardy. Oh, yeah, I could, but I don't want to do that. Ross, why leave this? I've been answering everyone's questions and I forgot that I've not made my own moves. Do you think Cunha starts, Ross? I would guess yes, but I don't know. Is Isak starting? Isak's with the squad, but we don't know any more than that. We don't even know if he's in the squad. I need to make my move in the next 2 minutes. By the way, if you've enjoyed this stream and you want more streams next season, please make sure to subscribe. If you appreciate me stressing out in a suit, then make sure to subscribe. I am going to keep Isak, I think, unless we get a leak in the next 5 minutes that he's not starting. Then yeah, I think I'm going to keep Isak. It's worth the risk for me. So many people have sold him. Do not bench Rodgers, bro. I know, it's a risk, isn't it? I think if I was to sell Sarr, I would just keep that player on the bench. So it would be Sarr to Minte and then bench Minte. Ross, you look like Johnny Sins. Thank you. Watkins or even Ilson? I'd prefer even Ilson, personally. Shocked that there are not more leaks. Yeah, I thought we'd get more leaks. So if you've just joined, by the way, the leaks that we currently have, KDB benched, Marmouche starts, Isak is with the squad, and Luis Diaz starts. I can't confirm any of them, but those are the leaks that we've had, basically. You'll run out of time. I know, I need to make this move, don't I? Oh, is it Fabian Schär or Ben White? I swear, this is the decision that... I think both keep clean sheets. But I think Fabian Schär's got more... Has Fabian Schär got more attacking threat? Chat, Fabian Schär or Ben White? Which way? I don't have any Newcastle defenders. Trent starts. Says who? Says who? Are you lying to me? Maybe I do just bench Bradley. I've just had a feeling about Bradley all week. Ben White. I don't know. Ben White or Cher. Oh, God, that's a difficult decision, isn't it? One Newcastle defender, one Arsenal defender. I don't want two Arsenal defenders. Arsenal just always find a way to concede, don't they? Fabian Cher more reliable. Go for minutes. Yeah, Fabian Cher will definitely start, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say Cher, to be honest with you.
I think I'm going to go Fabian Cher and just not risk it. You have Raya. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, exactly. So do I want double Arsenal defence and no Newcastle? One Arsenal, one Newcastle. Oh, God, this is not an easy decision at all. Cher has more to play for, yeah. Why not Calafiori, Kirkes? They're both good as well. Can't own everyone, though. I'm just going to make the move. Screw it. I'm going to own it. I think I'm going to bench... And I know this is going to upset people, but I think I'm going to bench Conser, not Bradley. I just think that Cher and Bradley are both going to be really lowly owned, nice differentials. Okay. Saliba to Fabian Cher. Done? I can't wait any longer, can I? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it like that. And then that is it. Final transfer of the season. So boring. I just don't feel comfortable benching Rodgers. And I don't mind if Sarr has to come off the bench. If Sarr comes off the bench, he comes off the bench. And I'm sorry about benching Konsa. I know Man United suck, but I just feel so much more comfortable. I just want to start Bradders. If Trent starts, and I screwed it. I'm just going to quickly screenshot that before I lose it. Right, my move then. Saliba to Fabian Cher. Does Bradley start? I've got no idea. I'm surprised no one has said whether Trent starts or not. I genuinely thought we would get a Trent leak. The fact that we've not got a Trent leak makes me think Trent doesn't start. Because I feel like that would be a pretty big storyline. I'm trying to find out right now, see if I can find anything. Munoz to Konsa. Munoz ahead of... Hopefully I don't need my backup defender, but I think Konsa's just got a great chance for a clean sheet, right? You never know. Bradley could score off the bench, potentially. Okay. Apparently, KDB, Foden, and Savinho don't start. Sounds like Gvardiol's at left back. If you were thinking about benching Gvardiol, that probably means I wouldn't then. Cher on direct free kicks too. There we go. Fabian Cher, bullet free kick. Would be nice, wouldn't it? I think I just wanted some more Newcastle cover. I think Newcastle batter Everton, so I wanted to cover that a little bit. Ross, you let the pressure get to you, you should start Konsa over Bradley. That would be the opposite. If I was letting people get to me in the pressure, I'd start Konsa. Right, I'm trying to check for any last minute late news. Yeah, I'm happy with my bench order. Just about. I think I'm happy with my bench order. Bruno starts. I don't think anyone cares about that. Yeah, make sure you've got your chips active if you're playing them. Make sure you've got your captain and vice captain sorted. Make sure you're happy with your bench order. Refresh your team. Make sure everything's confirmed. You don't want to mess it up for the final week. Bench Marmoush or Rodgers? I would personally bench Rodgers and start Marmoush unless you want to play the EO game, in which case you would start Rodgers and bench Marmoush. If you want to play the EO game, then you can. But if I'm just looking at just points, I would prefer Marmoush, personally. Just about. It's very close. Isak is likely to start. I bloody hope so. Because otherwise I should have just done that Even Ilson move. What is the news we've got? With less than a minute left, the only news we've got is KDB benched, Marmoush starts. Also, Gvardiol and Ruben Dias apparently start. Savinho is apparently on the bench. Isak is with the squad. We don't know if he starts. And apparently Luis Diaz starts. That's it. That's all we've got. That's what we've got with a minute. You need to make your moves, though. The site is going to lag out. I would just get your moves made. App is lagging. Exactly. Yeah, I'm trying to refresh the app now and it's not working. Trent starts. According to who? Are you just... I hope you're lying to me, chat. I really hope you are. That would be a bit of a pain if that's the case, but I backed my gut feeling. Website down. We're done. 10 minutes. 10 seconds. By the time you hear my voice, that is the deadline. Stick around, though. I'm going to carry on streaming for a little bit, of course. I'm going to leave it there. I own my decisions. I've made my decisions. We'll see how it goes. Trent starts according to watch. Oh, for goodness sake. I shouldn't have done that, should I, if that's the case? Why are they tweeting at 1:30? I feel like these accounts know they hate FPL players, managers. Watch LFC. Well, it's too late now. That is the deadline. That is the deadline. I've just seen that. Oh, it was tweeted 8 minutes ago. How has no one in my chat told me about that until 1:30?
Sorry, that didn't come up for me either. I didn't see it.
Oh, that's probably going to be the thing that kicks me out top 10k then. Or not out, I'm not in, but... Oh, I shouldn't have risked it. That's a sucker punch. What a terrible way to end the first stream. The last stream, I should say. That's sad. Watch LFC is 50-50. Okay, I hope they're wrong. Are you a security officer? No, I just chose a long short sleeve top, so I'm not sweaty. I had my suit jacket on for most of the stream anyway. They did tell you. They didn't. They just said Trent benched. Trent starts, which without a leak, I just assume people are joking. Apparently, he's not very reliable. Oh, please. Please, God. Right, chat, I'm going to go for a quick wee. Do you want to entertain or you not? Okay. I'm just going to go for a quick wee. I'll be back in a second, but I will stream right up until we get the teams and stuff. So I'll be 2 seconds. Hello, hello. Sorry, that was honestly the biggest wee of my life. He's taking a poo. Pickle can confirm I was not taking a poo. Honestly, having a little sit-down wee reflecting on his Bradley decision, it was literally that as well. I was also tweeting, getting ready to tweet my team. Copy. So I need to tweet that on. Lando crashed. What? Did he actually? I saw someone said Gasly crashed. And I saw someone said Lando was leading into turn 1. Keep me updated on the F1. Yeah, hopefully he's okay. Oh, liars. Okay. No, he's not. What do you mean only messing? That's not funny. If anyone wants to give me genuine updates, that'd be nice. Max leads, but he's not pitted. Okay, well, if he gets a red flag, he might be in them. Not he gets a red flag, if there is a red flag. I love the 2-stop, though. Mandatory 2-stop's a great idea for Monaco. I mean, people have been banging that drum for months. Don't spoil F1, please. If you don't want F1 spoiled, get out the chat. Because even if I don't spoil it, the chat's going to spoil it. So I would just get out the chat. I love when people get upset that people have spoiled stuff online, and it's like, just don't be online at the deadline. Is Blue Sky broken? I can't. Oh, there you go. Can't post on it. I'm not gonna lie. All I do on Blue Sky is just post my team and post my videos. I'm sorry. It's just too much to try and be active on multiple platforms. I really hope that Watch LFC was just guessing. He's the only account that I've seen that says Trent starts. I'm just going to take off my tie, guys, because I'm sweating. Also, look how thick... If you want to see the world's... It's like a F1 driver's neck. I can't get shirts around my neck. To be fair, this shirt doesn't fit anymore, but I have to buy like extra large shirts just to fit around my fat neck. So I'd end up just having to do the tie up. There you go. Do you want a bit of chest chat? There you go. Take the rest off. Wow, wow. You can have a little bit of chest hair. There you go. What kind of socials is Blue Skies? It's basically like Twitter, but not run by Elon. Football FPL is an escape for a lot of us. Just want to say a big thank you for being such a big part of a great game and an even better community. Have a blessed summer, bro. Can't wait for what you have next season. Thank you, mate. I genuinely think you've been in... You'll have to let me know, mate. How many streams have you been in this season? I wouldn't be surprised if you've been in every single one. Thank you for the support and for the kind words. What did Pickle do? I think she did KDB to Bowen.
Yeah, and I've benched Eze, but I really hate it immensely. I'm upset about it, but we move.
Oh, Bradley starts per red memorabilia. Aren't they the really accurate one? Oh, please. Oh, please. I've fully just accepted that he doesn't at this point. Red memorabilia. Let me have a look. I'll remember when I see their profile. Yeah, they're the accurate one, aren't they? I think they are. Luis Diaz starts according to them, so does Gakpo. Lowell Trent starts. Oh, they've said that Bradley starts. No, I don't. I trust them. Anyway, we'll see. Doesn't matter now. We're going to get all the lineups at the same time. Chat, what lineups do we want to look for first? I'm sorry, I'm going to have to look at Liverpool very quickly first, and then Newcastle. So Liverpool and Newcastle. What lineups do we want to prioritise? Imagine Palace beat Lit. To be fair, this is the thing. I'm like begging... Sorry about the lag, by the way. Computer did so well for the stream. I'm all like, oh, please start Bradley. He's probably going to get a 1-pointer anyway. Yeah, he's going to... Palace will probably score a few goals. Yeah, I know. I've benched Sarah and Munoz. You've benched Eze. I think on paper you've made the better decision.
Yeah, I have a feeling about Eze.
Yeah, that's annoying because you're going to get your gut feeling. Bradley is starting according to Rockstar. Oh, really? Okay, then. Thank God for that. Oh, people made me panic, man.
My sister had Bradley as well, so I was thinking, oh no, we're going to have to sell him.
Yeah, Oh, my voice. Bradley starts. Apparently.
By the way,
We'll wait.
Rice is Arsenal captain today.
Yeah. I don't think that says too much.
Does it not?
Who's normally captain?
Or is it Odegaard?
It's Odegaard, but who would... So it just means Odegaard doesn't start then, if Rice is capping Arsenal. Yeah, so Odegaard doesn't start. What is Bowen's EO? We won't know for a little bit, but I reckon 70 to 70%. Told you watch FPL is not him. At least I know now. Thanks for letting me know, mate. Yeah, I don't know the account, and I saw they had like 200,000 followers or something, so I just assumed they were all right. Well, hopefully the next thing I need is Bradley to make it to 60. Saka must be benched because he's vice captain. I don't think necessarily. No. No, I don't think so. Well, I mean, I could, but I don't think... They could have just given it to Matchling. I mean, I hope he is, but I'd be very surprised if Saka's benched. Imagine dragging Saka all the way to Southampton away and not starting him. Unless he's not in the squad. What do FPL YouTubers do for jobs when the season ends? I'm not full-time YouTube, so I'll be doing my PhD, and I will be... Yeah, I'll be doing my PhD, and I'll be moving. I'm moving in. I've not said this properly, I don't think, but I'm moving in with Pickle. We don't live together at the moment, so she has to come to Nottingham. She lives in Birmingham, I live in Nottingham, but we're moving to Birmingham together. So we're moving in a few weeks. So I'll be focusing on moving, and I'll be focusing on doing my PhD as well. So I'm going to be really busy, man. I'm in the 5th year of my PhD, by the way. It's the 5th and final. If you're thinking, is Twitter completely down? Oh, there you go. It was one of those Trent... have you seen the Trent... I shouldn't laugh because it's not funny, but the Trent AI videos kill me. When he's with Jude Bellingham, and Jude Bellingham was like, babe. The Jude Bellingham Trent AI videos, just when they're like doing the podcast together.
Sounds like me.
Whereabouts in Birmingham? Like right in the city centre. I'm not going to give you my exact address, of course, but right in the city centre. Because obviously I need to get around to London, back to Nottingham to see my family. So we wanted to be pretty close to New Street. But yes... I think I might do a meetup in Birmingham in the summer, or maybe in like autumn. If anyone wants to come to a Birmingham meetup, let me know. The Trent Jude podcast are elite. They're so funny, man. No, so my PhD ends in January, so I'll be having to travel back to Nottingham for the last few months, but a lot of it I can do remotely anyway. Do you know what? I don't even care. My computer's lagging now. My computer did so well throughout that stream. I'm proud of it. It's the final stream with this computer. I'm getting a new computer for next season and better internet and a better office. It's just going to be great. Yeah, I'll post in the summer about this Birmingham meetup. Then it looks like lots of people will be up for it. Wow, okay. Cool. Yeah. If anyone, because last time I did a meetup in Nottingham, someone contacted me that they owned a venue in Nottingham. And a really, really nice guy, and Adam, and he helped us with that. If anyone owns a venue, like a sports bar or something like that in Birmingham, or if you know someone that owns a sports bar in Birmingham and they've got like an area that they could reserve for us, send me an email or a message or something. I'd love to know. I'd love to know if someone can help us with a venue. Because often I tried in Nottingham, there was a venue that was really good, but they wanted like a deposit of like £800. And as much as I don't mind necessarily doing that, if everyone wants it, it's like, listen, we're going to spend so much money on drinks and food. If there's like 50, 60 people there, they're going to make a fortune. So I don't understand why they wanted such a huge... I get it, but... What's the thing you've learned most from FPL this season? I don't know. It's been a very unique season, I think. I'll have a think. Maybe I'll have a think and then post some season learnings. I feel like you'll get recognised more in Birmingham. Fair. Yeah, maybe. I get recognised a fair bit these days anyway. I've got a very unique face and head, haven't I? Especially if I've got no hat on. You wouldn't miss this head from a mile off. But if I have my cap... Where's my cap? Can you show me my cap? The generational look of the cap. The cap with the shirt. I'm not sure about this one. Oh, that just looks better. Hide the bald head. It's not because I'm benched. It's not benched. I read the word bench. It's not because I'm bald that I don't... I just think with a green screen, it just stands out. It just needs a little bit softening, you know, which the hat does. Saka's 100% benched. Oh dear. Firstly, I'm so sorry to anyone that made the move. I did not see that coming, if that's genuinely the case. Oh dear. Ross, are you staying at NTU next year? I'm still doing my PhD, but I'm not doing any more lecturing, I don't think. Although I might be getting offered a job, so we'll see.
Oh my gosh, all the side hustles.
Yeah, I know. You look better bald. Thanks. Shall I run a poll? I won't be offended. I want your genuine, honest opinion. What looks better? Cap. Bald head. Please be honest. Right, I run a poll. What looks better? I literally wouldn't be offended. If you said bald head, I don't care. If you said cap, I don't care. I just want to know what looks better, bald head or cap. Maybe eventually, like right now, I'm 28 years old. If I'm still making YouTube videos in like 10, I don't think I'm gonna be 38 and wearing a backwards cap probably. So I will eventually go back to the bald head. It's just something, I don't know. It's just something doesn't look right on the green. It just looks too like naked. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe I'll wear shirts as well. Although this one doesn't fit. I'm like busting out of it at the breasts. Right, let's do lineups. Okay, that's closer than I thought, actually, that poll. Right, the first one I want to see is Newcastle for Isak. Then I want to check Arsenal. I actually think bald is nice. Looks more clever and confident because you embrace the bald head. Thank you very much. You have a very nicely shaped head. The only thing that's not nice about my head is very flat, the top bit. Like if I turn to the side, it's literally like a, what's it called? A spirit level. It's dead like flat. But otherwise, yeah, it's not a bad egg, is it? There's definitely worse eggs out there. Right, let's do this. Every lineup from 20 teams. Isak starts. Gordon, Barnes, and Murphy start. Livramento playing wing-back then. Yeah, Livramento wing-back. If you've got Livramento, you're laughing. Fabian Schär does start as well. No surprises with the Newcastle lineup. It's unchanged, bar Isak in for Wilson. Arsenal. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. Wait, it's not been tweeted. Everyone is saying Saka benched. I can't see their tweet of their team. They've not tweeted it. Should I just go onto official FPL? Because they retweet them all, don't they? It's probably easier than me having to... Oh my God, my computer's lagging. It's because I'm using the internet so much. Clivert starts. Even Ilson starts. Semenyo starts. Clivert. If Clivert... Oh, just no. I was just worried a little bit, you know? Oh my God. Everton's centre-back pairing is O'Brien and Keane. Is my computer... It's my internet, isn't it? Or is it Twitter? Why is nothing loading properly? Twitter's been bugged for so long. Oh, Areola benched. Areola benched. Also, if you own Jared Bowen, this is great. Bowen starts, but Fulkrug starts as well. And Paquetá, that is the best case possible. I should have captained Bowen. Bowen's playing on the right wing, but Paquetá's not on the pitch. So Bowen's on pens and playing in his natural position. Areola's benched. Fabianski starts. Twitter is busted. Like, Twitter is so busted these days. Nothing loads. Okay, here we go. White, Kivior. Oh, okay. Do you know what? I'm glad I bought Fabian Schär then. Ben White's at centre-back. No Calafiori. No Calafiori. No Trossard. Oh, Trossard's on the bench at least. Saka's on the bench. Okay. Calafiori's not in the squad, is he there? Where was... What was I? No Welbeck. No Welbeck. Welbeck not in the squad. Matoma benched as well. So I'm glad I didn't go there. I was going to go Minte, who starts. So who are they playing up front? That might be Gruder as the striker. Or maybe Minte. Maybe that's Minte as the forward. Yeah, Welbeck not in the squad. Anyone else that I've not checked? Oh, Liverpool, I didn't even check. I just assumed that the Bradley thing was... I hope Bradley thing is correct. Thank you for all the help and content this year, Ross. Good luck for 38. Thank you so much, Craig. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Bradley starts. Yes. Okay, that's the first part. Now I need him to do the points. I'm sorry, by the way, about the Welbeck. We didn't get that news. We didn't get anything on Welbeck from Hertzler. Sorry, what did you say, Pickle?
Sorry, I can't remember what I said.
Okay. Let's check the Villa team. Is there anyone else that I've missed, chat, that was surprisingly benched or anything? Aston Villa apparently don't know they have to tweet the team.
They have tweeted.
So is Twitter just broken then?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay, I've seen it. There you go. Watkins, Rogers, Asensio. Oh, Luca Dean on the bench again. He's starting to prefer. He's starting to prefer Maatsen, you know. I think.
Can you start by the way?
Yeah, apparently. I'm just going to check that now. Cunha starts. Eight Nuri starts. Strand Larson on the bench. I reckon Cunha could get an early sub is the only thing I'd be worried about, but at least he starts. Chelsea lineup. Oh yeah, Forest and Chelsea. Let's do. Just let me know if I've missed any players as well that like stand out. Twitter's so bugged. Whenever I land on a page, it doesn't show me the most recent tweets. Yeah, Palmer starts. Neto starts. Enzo starts. Enzo's in a slightly more reserved role if anyone still owns him. Neto's playing as the 9. The City leaks were right. Oh yeah, let's look at the City team. Let me actually just go on official FPL. They probably retweet them all. It saves me having to type in everyone's name. Oh my god, guys, it's so loud in Nottingham.
Spurs have gone quite strong.
Really?
It doesn't look too bad to me.
I'll have a look in a second.
I'm a massive Spurs fanatic. It's alright.
Oh my god, sorry guys. I don't know if it's Twitter or my issue, but every time I refresh, it doesn't show me the most recent stuff. I've literally the only 2 tweets I've got from official FPL, and I know they've done more because I just saw them, is Everton and Newcastle. Can't see any of their tweets from the last 6 minutes. What is... Are you looking at my screen? Is this a me issue?
I don't know. It's fine on my phone.
Chat, are you having issues with the Twitter, or is this a me issue? I can't see anything. Okay. Oh, thank God. So everyone's having the issue. I'm like, it's busted, isn't it? I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with this? Do you know what? I'll report anything that pops up, but yeah, I think we've covered most of the key stuff there. Jesus. I can't wait for the team to update so we can look at our team for next week. Go to their replies. Okay, I'm just going to do it on my phone. It means my computer's not having to work as hard as well. Nah, it's busted. Oh, there you go. It's loaded. No, there's nothing. Can't see any of their recent tweets. Oh, there we go. Right, they're loading in now. Yeah, and Burmo Wissa start. Coyote starts if you have him. Whatever. Their team's really obvious. The Brentford team. Oh, Twitter is so busted. It's just reloaded and I can just see... Do you know what? Do you know what? Doesn't matter. Saka benching will annoy the captain punters. I'm really sorry. Like, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry. Because I recommended Saka captain to loads of people. I just didn't see a world where he... I thought he either travels and starts, or... Taking him all that way for the bench is very weird. But he might come on at half-time. He might come on at 50.
I did think that Rice captain was a bit strange.
Yeah, I kind of forgot Saka was vice-captain. I don't know why I thought Rice was vice-captain. So I just thought it meant Ødegaard didn't start. Saka in for a hit after finding the De Bruyne benched. Yeah, that's rough.
Oh.
Saka leaks just aren't a thing, are they? Arsenal leaks, sorry. Chris, hi Ross, just wanted to drop a thanks. My son and I do FPL together. That already just makes me smile. My son and I do FPL together, and since him and his mum got divorced, I mean you and his mum, loud engine, been that much more important to us. We often say, let us wait until what FPL man says. Mate, that is amazing. I was literally thinking this the other day. Hopefully I'm still playing FPL for a long time, but when old Pickle and I have children, I do really hope that they can play FPL and that can be like a bonding thing. Mate, Chris, that might be one of my favourite messages I've ever received. Thank you for that. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching me with your son. And big shout out to your son as well. I don't have a name, but big shout out to your son. And I'm glad I can help. New channel name, FPL Man. Little Pickles would be wild. Do you know what we can call our little pickles? That sounds sus. We can call them cornichons. Little pickles are cornichons. So when my son or daughter plays FPL, they can have a Twitter account called FPL Cornichon. House and benched. Oh, And another one. There we go. I got bored trying to look at all the lineups on Twitter. I was doing my head in.
You really do like
Surely pickled eggs. Potentially as well. Hey Ross, thanks for the content. Went from 3 million to 40k to 150k for my debut season. Not sure what to make of it. See you next year. That is the classic FPL sort of emotional roller coaster. But thank you, Bramjot. And sorry that you bought Saka. I'm really sorry if I contributed to that.
What's the difference between our teams, Pickle?
Don't know.
I don't think there's much. Just Isak, Marmouche, and...
Isak versus Marmouche.
what's the
And
difference that
I've got Sherrod and Livramento. And Bradley versus
Konza.
Konza. Oh, God. Villa clean sheet. Marmouche brace.
Well, I hope so now that I've...
Wait, so let's say Sharon and Livramento are the same. I know they're not because one could score. So it's just Bradley versus Konza and Isak versus Marmouche.
Well, I'd rather have Isak.
I'd much rather have Bradley and Isak, which means that your Marmouche and Konza is going to outscore mine. Does this mean you're coming on the stream? The fact that you're doing a little bit of makeup touching?
Maybe.
Makeup touching? That's what I meant.
I don't feel like I look nice today.
It's up to you. I don't ever want to force you. I think you look beautiful, though. Can you name them all Vincent? I could do. Sunday roast today? No, but FPL Pickle is a fantastic chef. And she's going to cook a wonderful spag bowl. And when I say that, bolognese slaps. We don't actually have spaghetti. We have bolognese with. But it'll be bolognese. It's so good to have bolognese.
I look pretty bad. Oh. Your big shoulders.
Do you want to sit? Do you want to sit?
Mm.
You can have a seat. I can come back. It gives me a break. Sorry, chat. I'm getting replaced. I say sorry. You probably love it. My bum's probably sweaty. Oh, it's not too sweaty. It's going to be a really warm chair. You're going to be shocked how warm that is.
Hi, guys. Oh, Jesus.
Shall we turn the brightness down?
Nearly poked my eye out with that. Hi, guys. I'm currently doing training for placement up next week, so that's why I've not been talking
that's
much.
bright. If you always think it's too bright.
Yeah, it's alright.
Or do you want more bright?
No.
Warm? How do you want the lighting?
Oh, I don't know.
More warm? Brighter? Like that?
No, turn it down. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah. Hi, guys. Good luck with your game week. I'm going to miss FPL, even though I hate it every week. Every deadline, I'm just grumpy and depressed. Hi. I nearly hit myself in the face with that when I sat down.
I often whack it, and on our end, it doesn't sound loud, but when you whack a mic, it's really loud.
Sorry, guys.
I'm going to stretch my back. You carry on talking.
Ross is going to go and lie on the floor and stretch his back. What's my team? So I've got Raya, Livramento, Gvardiol, Konza. And then I've got Salah captain in Burmo, Bowen and Rogers. And then I've got Marmouche, Wissa, Watkins. I really wanted to captain in Burmo for some reason, but I wasn't going to do it. It was too risky. But I would have liked to have done. Hi, Sam. What are you doing? What's going on? Oh, are you bringing up my team? Yeah, there it is. That's the team. Because KDB was benched, it was an easy enough transfer, but I just didn't know who to bench. I really wanted to start Eze, to be honest. But I have a feeling Eze's going to do well, and it's going to really bother me. Apparently you were flexing your bicep there.
My arms were straight. Not flex my bicep with my arms.
No, it's just hench, guys, to be honest with you.
Oh, guys, I really wouldn't want to flex my bicep.
Oh, Jesus.
Flex my bicep, and I really want to flex my bicep in there.
Should I flex my bicep? Oh, you can't even see it. No.
I know, yeah, muscles look terrible on this. You can't see it.
No, I'm
can you?
embarrassed now. I actually do have some muscles though.
She does. Very strong.
Should have benched Rogers.
Big
Thanks,
egg
guys.
poke.
I'm a Villa fan, so I'd rather enjoy the game, honestly.
I love how
Thanks,
far forward you
guys.
lean because you're blind. You've got contacts in.
I know. I don't know who to reply to. It's a bit intense. I don't know how you do this all the time.
This is chilled as well. There's only 2,800 here. Imagine when there's like 10.
No, I'd be so overstimulated.
Just have a read through and think, what do you want to read out? Look, I would read out that one because that's really sweet.
Massive thank you to Ross and Pickle. Everyone's been so lovely. Thank you for watching. Ross works very, very hard. I don't know how he has the brain capacity to do this for so long. He did it for, what was it, 2.5 hours today?
Yeah, pretty
Must have been right. My head would explode. Oh my gosh. There's so much going on.
You done?
Yeah, do you want to sit back down?
I've stretched my back, which helps. Thanks.
Lovely to see you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting Ross, and thank you for being so kind to me as well. I really appreciate it. Maybe I'll make a channel next season. We'll see.
What an exit. Maybe I'll make a channel next season. Watch this space.
Stay tuned. Yeah, exactly.
God, my chest was very out.
Where did you get your hair out?
What do you mean when I get my hair out?
I'm still here, but you can't see me so well.
Damn, leaving this on a cliffhanger. I know, it was such a mic drop moment, wasn't it?
Ow.
I am time. What a nice girl. I know, she's very sweet, isn't she? Pickles do the channel. Pickle might do a channel. Let's see. Ross Cleavage, I know. It's not the cleavage you want to see, but there you go. Call it.
Sorry.
Bosoms. Kiss. All right, this is no. I usually skip this part. How did Pickle get so good at FPL?
I don't know. I just
luck. Sorry, yeah. Sorry, Sorry, Karen.
I listen to Ross. Although
just listen to me.
Although this season I don't listen to you as much, but I do listen to you. I play it safe. Let's be real. I play it safe. Make the odd, I don't know, spicy decision that may or may not pay off. Very engaged. I think you have to be engaged to do well.
Yeah, I just think be on it. Yeah.
I just enjoy the game. So.
Who's got the better rank? Oh, who's counting really?
Well, if you wanted to take an average of all the seasons, you've got a better rank.
Yeah, my last 4 seasons have gone pretty. Wait, did Shazam super chat? Did you read that?
No. Oh, let's see.
Oh, Shazam super chat. Sorry, mate, I missed that. Must have been when I was stretching my back. Thanks for a great year. Hope the house move goes well. Good luck for the 10k rank and see you next season, mate. Take care, Pickle, and enjoy the summer. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
We love you very much. Sorry, I missed that completely. Oh, there it was. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Shazam. Oh yeah, Olympian Captain Welbeck. What did I say, Pickle?
Will Stormzy be singing at your wedding? Maybe.
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool.
Blinded by your grace at the wedding.
I'd sing with him if he didn't mind. Play part of the choir bit of that song.
FPL Olympian Captain Welbeck. Who's his vice captain though? Because he'll get them, won't he?
Imagine it's Saka. That'd be funny. Actually, no.
Oh my God, Piastri just Tokyo drifted and almost crashed. Oh dear. He kept losing his back end in qualifying and free practice, didn't he? Can't remember what turn it was through. Can't remember. Shazam is the man. Shazam is the man. I'm very poor until the start of the month, hence the 0 super chats. Mate, you do never need to super chat. No one's ever forced to super chat.
Yeah,
Never give me, especially if you've not got much money at the time. Please don't give me your money.
Yeah, no one's ever...
Does your sister play FPL? Yeah, Hayley plays FPL. She normally listens to the stream. I don't know if she is today, but she's probably not on a Sunday. But she's my editor. My sister is my short form editor. So all of the short form videos you've seen this season on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, that's all Hayley. She smashed it.
Oh dear. My face looks so weird on camera.
I think it does.
It's just the angle.
My head's so much bigger than yours.
Not a nice angle.
Bald head looks better, but that's from a fellow baldy. Yeah, look, 51% cap, 49% bald head. It's crazy. Thanks for all the great content. All that means is that half the people will hate the look regardless. Thanks for the great content. I hope your pickle have a great summer. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support,
Thank you.
Steve. And yeah, bald is beautiful, Steve. Why are you not? How's Nana Raptor doing? She's not had her best season, Nana Raptor, this year, but Nana Raptor, what she has done, and I'm very proud of her for this, every week she's made her own decisions. And also, I used to help Nana Raptor like confirm her transfers. Nana Raptor just knows how to navigate the FPL app perfectly now, which is quite impressive, I think.
Poor queen.
Who am I worried about this week? Well, Saka was one of them, but he doesn't start. Honestly, the only player that I'm really stressed about is Even Ilson. And maybe, like, I don't have, like, Conser on the bench, I'd be gutted if he hauls, because I could have just started him.
I'm a bit worried about Isak now, but I suppose his EO won't be that high anymore.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you, though, because last week it was a bit of a stinker, wasn't it? So hopefully he does well for you. I mean, you know, I would accept Isak goal over a mental assist, you know?
Oh, Harry did a little thank you tweet. I'll read that properly in a second, but he thanked us.
What, me?
No, me and Focal for keeping him sane. You might have been on there. I don't think you were. Looking forward to next season. I hope I can be a bit more active on the stream. It's been a tough 2025 until now. Big love, mate. Drop me a message if you ever need anything, of course. As always. Should have known Saka would have got benched. I don't think so. I really expected Saka. What did Praz do? Did Praz buy Saka? Because that was his plan, wasn't it? Yeah, Praz bought Saka. Tough times. Saka could easily score off the bench. We saw what happened with Eze last week. I should reply to Harry now. Yeah. Oh, he won't. He will come on, Saka. Yeah, so Harry owns Saka. Praz bought Saka. If you want confirmation that Saka's going to score off the bench, there it is for you. There it is for you. Your bald head looks delicious. Great snack. Thanks. Appreciate it. Take your glasses off for a full Monty headshot. I look... This is the thing. On camera, I look really weird without glasses, but in real life, I don't think it looks that weird, but I'm too scared to do it on camera. You know, I've already taken the hat off. That's one thing, you know. Have you thought about the new possible transfers for FPL next season and their prices? Honestly, not really. That'll be something I do in the summer, maybe when I get that itch back. So, in terms of when we expect FPL to go live, my prediction is somewhere between like the 10th and 20th of July. I don't think it'll go much earlier than the 10th of July, which I think is. Wait, let me get the exact date. It is the 11th of July is a Friday. So I think the earliest it'll go live is like the 10th and 11th, end of that week. I think it will be week commencing the 14th of July. Week commencing the 14th is when I would predict that the game goes live, but it could be earlier or later. You look fine with a cap or no cap, mate. Handsome creator, no homo. Listen, I appreciate it. Homo or not, I appreciate it. Big love. Thank you for the... I always will take a compliment, you know? Thanks for being you and for all of the support. I've absolutely smashed my mini league. 100 points clear thanks to you. Use this 20 to get yourself a Mackie's breakfast tomorrow morning. Don't tell Pickle about a Mackie's breakfast. She loves the pancakes. Pickle start streaming next year. Did you hear that? What? JM gave us a super chat of £20 and said, get yourself a Mackie's breakfast tomorrow morning. And I said, don't tell Pickle about the Mackie's breakfast. She loves pancakes. And he said, you need to start streaming next year.
That's very sweet.
Thank you very much, Jay. And thank you again, Jay. You've been on, again, one of the people that's been on like every live stream. It's so nice seeing people like Ashley and Discover with Sim and Claudette and Adam and Will. Like loads of people, Lukey Boy, that are just here every week. There's probably more again. But thank you if you have been here all the time.
I love the name Ashley. My favourite name.
Maybe link Pickle's channel so we can follow her already. She might start a new channel, though, with a new... I'd probably recommend that she does that with a new Gmail that's like FPL Pickle, if she does. So I won't link a channel because I might get her to start her own one. But anyway, you best know that when she starts her channel as her man, I will support her very much. And I will share that link with you non-stop. If she does. No pressure on her, of course.
You do look like a little schoolboy in that.
It's because of the short sleeves, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I
I bought this for... you can't see biceps on this stream. They look tiny.
Really? I can't. Oh yeah, you can't, can you?
They are big, though. They're rock hard as well.
That's good.
I bought this for when I was at a conference in Italy and I wanted a shirt, but I didn't want to go long sleeve. But then they don't fit anymore. I was a bit smaller when I used to wear these. 50-50 poll, you can't lose, Ross. Or I can't win, Claude. It depends which way you view the poll. I'm admittedly a floater viewer, Ross. We all have a floater from time to time. Do a challenge team, Ross. It's just that I couldn't think of anything worse, sorry. I would, but I don't like it. I imagine her logo will be very Pickle Rick. It's probably going to be a logo now, you know? She might get a new one. I've been working very hard behind the scenes on upgrading my graphics. I've been working with a graphic designer, Mr. Alex Volo, to improve. I'm going to hopefully you'll see a big improvement for next year on everything. I hope. I always try. Cheers, Webby. No, I see you all the time, Webby. Thank you for the support as well, my friend. Right, guys. As much as I do love you, and believe me, I do really love you, I'm going to head off now. I think Adam and Baker from Above Average is streaming, and if I've done it correctly, when I end this stream, you should be redirected to above average stream. If that doesn't work, just go and check out Adam and Baker's stream. I'm sure they'd really appreciate it. But yeah, I think this will be the last piece of content. I'll give you a little maybe, and this is a big maybe. If later on tonight I've secured top 10k, I'm very happy and I'm not too tired, I might do a stream this evening, like late this evening. I don't want to promise that though, because I might be knackered. If I don't get top 10k, then I probably won't want to do another stream. But it will really depend how today goes, how tired I feel and stuff like that. But yeah, I want to say thank you. I mean, I've been streaming for over 3 hours. Some of you have been here since the start. And across this whole season, like, I cannot thank you enough. Like, if I'm to think about what is most important to me, it's you guys. Like, yeah, I like hitting 100,000 views on a video, but the 2,000 people that sit here with me after a stream, that's what means the most to me. Like, this is the most personal element that I can get to this job. So I appreciate it so much, especially those that super chat as well. You never have to do that, but I appreciate you. So yeah, big love. I love you all very, very much. I hope you have a fantastic Gameweek38. It's going to be crazy. I'll be posting over on Twitter or X if you want to see my reactions, and maybe see you tonight. If I don't see you tonight, I probably won't see you at all until July. So yeah, have a wonderful summer break. I love you all very much, and I'll catch you soon. Do you want to say bye?
Yeah. Bye, guys.
See you later, guys. Bye.